Good evening and welcome to Pandora's Wake Apocalypse Age. I'm Bryan F. Irving, I'll be your games master for the evening. I am from DH9 Radio and from Gethsemane Games. The system we'll be using today is Modern Age by Green Ronin Publishing, and the setting is Pandora's Wake by myself and Gethsemane Games. The music you'll be hearing is by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com and by DH9 Radio's production unit. Sound effects are provided by DH9 Radio's Foley unit, BattleBards and freesound.org. Your cast this evening, who will introduce themselves as I call them out, are, beginning at the top, Mark Savoll as Rab.
Hi, how you doing?
Chris Gibson as Adam Taylor.
Hello.
Jenny Savoll as Erin Black.
Hi.
Ben Watson as Joe Watson.
Oi.
Unfortunately, Sean McGowan can't be with us this evening for personal reasons, so his character will be played by the Games Master and the cast. And next up we have Marie McGowan Irving as Elizabeth Lizzie Ryan.
Hello.
Just a little touch quiet there, Marie.
Sorry, I'll just bring my mic in. Hello.
Ah, that's a little bit better. Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
Hold up, if Sean isn't here, does that mean he's going to be volunteering to go first all the time?
No, it doesn't. That is why I'm not giving complete control of his character to the cast, because I know some of you can't be trusted.
I just want you to know that I resemble that remark.
Okay, a request from Chris. Could people change their pin colour, as we've got three people all using different shades of green. So
Yeah,
if one
I know
more
it's
of
not.
you could change. Ben, could you change from green to another colour?
I am always green. This is offensive.
Oh, just
Right, what
change.
colour can I be? I'll be magenta, is that
I always
okay?
thought you were a green alien.
Yes, that's now
Always green.
very similar to Jenny's pink colour. Well done.
It's fine.
You know what, Brian? I'm going to silently protest the entire game.
You can
Excellent.
have green.
You stay silent the entire game. That will suit us all down to the ground. Okay,
Thank you, Marie.
I'm now teal.
you're now teal. Right, excellent. Excuse me. Okay, so not last week because we took last week off, but the week before in session 3, I'll try and put my teeth back in before I continue. The survivors had made it to Thomas Gallagher's workshop, where you've currently fought off two separate waves of alien creatures. The first were the same things that chased you through the underground, the metro. The second grew from a strange culture that Adam found on one of the dead aliens. Currently, the party have split, because that's always a great idea in this kind of thing. Rab and Joe have headed off to the closest supermarket in an attempt to acquire some supplies. I'm sure that'll go well. At the same time, Lizzie had gone to pick up her sister from round the corner, as it was just round the corner. She is already back. She has returned. Thomas has stayed at base, and of course Adam Taylor is heading off to pick up his significant other Julia from their home in Jesmond. When we left it, Rab and Adam had just been chased up the street by a gigantic black and red alien creature, unlike
It was
anything.
Rab and Joe.
Rab and Joe.
Sorry.
Right, okay. What did I say?
Adam.
You're right, I did. Rab and Joe had been chased up the street by a gigantic red and black creature of a strange sort of shape and orientation. They managed to set its head on fire by throwing a petrol bomb out of the car window and, excuse me, then turned into the surprisingly dark car park for the supermarket. Meanwhile, Adam's heading over to his flat in Jesmond to pick up his girlfriend Julia. Was anybody going with Adam, by the way?
I think it was Erin and her father.
Yes, that sounds
Yes,
familiar.
actually.
That does
And
sound
my
familiar.
little brother.
The
That's-
father was the one
Everyone.
driving.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So, shall we begin there then? Shall we begin with
Okay.
that part? Because I know Chris will have to leave us briefly to deal with something. So
Okay.
let's start there. And if it happens while we're in your scene, Chris, just let us know, and I'll move over to the other scene. Okay. So you're driving through the streets of Newcastle. What you notice is the purple sky is still above you, although the depth of the purple, the vividness of the colour, has changed somewhat. It's softened. It's not quite as obvious as it was. Erin's father's talking about an incident that happened, if he can remember rightly, 3 or 4 years ago, he thinks, in somewhere in China, he says, where or it might have been Japan, perhaps. He just can't quite remember. But the sky turned purple then, and it was something to do with a typhoon or a hurricane. And he's holding fast onto this discussion as you go. To the point that the roads are almost empty as well, so he almost doesn't notice the maniac that drives straight out of a side corner. Let's just have a drive roll for him then, shall we?
God damn it.
If I can get the dice roller to continue to behave its friggin' self. And plus 2 for the focus, there we go. Okay, that's an unusual. That's because I've rolled 3d20. So I'd say that's an unusual result for the 3d6.
Yeah.
Oh, and with stunts. So he
Nice.
swerves round the car, all the while launching a string of expletives at the other driver and making rude hand gestures that possibly suggest the other driver might be something of an onanist. As he continues to drive the car round the corner, still with this string of rude words, till he remembers both his daughter and his son are in the car, at which point he stops and apologises. Sorry.
I'll cover my brother's ears.
Sorry about that. But did you see that wanker come round the corner there? There's some right knackers on the roads. Did you get your licence off the back of a crisp packet, did you, pal? By this time, he's like
Sounds like
several
my
streets
dad in
away.
real life.
Did you think I based him on?
So didn't get a look at who this was at all.
Make a perception
Like
seeing
anything?
test. Yeah, make a perception seeing test.
Okay. Well, if I actually have the thing up. Right.
Okay, it was
Okay.
a blue Mazda. Why you are
Right.
surprised it would be a Mazda driver, you don't know. It was a blue Mazda. There was an
Mazda.
older man in the car. To be fair, there was also in the passenger seat, there was somebody else you couldn't make out clearly, but the driver was sort of holding a compress to the person's chest. There was a lot of blood on it and whatnot, so he was kind of
Oh.
driving one-handed and not entirely concentrating on the road. Heading away from where you're going, heading, you think, towards the Royal Victoria
Like,
Infirmary.
yeah. I'll keep that to myself, I think.
Okie dokie.
I don't want to freak anyone out.
No. Okay. So, as you're approaching, could I have a perception seeing test from everybody who's in the car, please?
Okay.
Hmm. 14 this time.
Okay. You don't notice much of anything unusual. You're kind of watching all the distance, all the junctions and the rooftops and everything, just watching for these creatures that you've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, you think you're okay. You don't think there's any of them following you
Right.
along, or if they are, that you think your dad's outpaced them anyway. So you're pretty sure you're safe. There's not a great many people on the streets either, though. There a lot of people peering out of windows nervously. You notice most places have their lights off. There is an exception. as you draw up
Right.
to outside of Adam's house, you will notice that there is something of an exception. The exception being Adam's house
Okay.
and the house next door. There's lights coming from both of those. The ones coming from Adam's house are kind of dipped. You get the idea it's kind of mood light and table lamps, standard lamps, mood light and that type of
Okay.
thing. Whereas the house on the other side of him is lit up like a Christmas tree. Okay, Chris,
Right.
your next door neighbours are an older couple, retired couple, who are a touch on the deaf side, and even as you pull the car up, you can hear their television blaring. They appear to be listening to the news. You can actually hear snatches of the news yourself as you listen to...
Due to multiple incidents in the city of Newcastle, people are being asked to avoid the city centre. The Chief Constable for the region asked people to evacuate the city centre in a calm and reasonable manner, cooperate with the police, and where possible remain indoors, away from windows, and secure the premises. More information to follow.
Okay, so that's what you hear blaring from their television as you step out of the car towards Chris's house. I'm just going to take you... Oh, I've already brought you over. I'm ahead of myself. Can anybody actually see that map yet? Or is it still
No.
a black square? That's okay. It's supposed to be a black square. I was
still
just
black.
curious. Yeah. It's supposed to be a black square at the moment. I was
Okay.
just curious as to whether... Because I know
Yeah.
they've been dealing with some issues with the lighting, and sometimes that throws things out a little bit. So let's just bring people over one at a time. Oh, that's not how I do it. So, rules, characters. Adam Taylor, Aaron Black, and were there any other player characters here, or are they just NPCs now, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like my
Yeah,
dad
just
and my brother.
NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was actually only Jenny and Chris
Staying
going.
in the car or not?
Right, your dad and your brother will stay in the car. Your brother's kind of
Yeah.
making space and getting the boot open and everything as you head on down to come in. Can you both see okay now?
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay.
We don't see each other, but yes, we see.
You don't
well,
see
we're
each
on
other?
top of it. No.
You're next to each other. You should be able to.
I can see Chris's token, but not my own. I
Okay.
did see it. You moved it. I think I've got sight through his token
Okay,
instead.
it looks like. So let me just
my
turn
own.
your token vision on. That might be more useful. You should be able to see now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just take a look. Yep, that's quite an odd sort of black bit in front of you there that I can't explain, but there you go. Okay, so peering through the window of Chris's thing here, this is the door by the end of the path, but peering through the window you can see Chris's front room. It's not Chris's, is it? It's Adam's front room, which is kind of exactly how you would expect it. Or how he would expect it. You've never seen it before, so you don't know. But it doesn't look like there's anything too untoward here.
Okay. Well, I'll let him approach
Yeah.
the house.
If I can know where to go.
Right.
I'm guessing this is the door or the window.
No, that's the window. The door is the thing at the end of the path, funnily enough.
All right. So this is it's black here and it's black here for me.
Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah,
it shouldn't be. I can't
it's-
explain that.
Blocked off.
Is that another
can't
window?
see it.
Oh, that's another. That's,
That's
another
house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where the door is to my own house.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to deal with several
guessing
things
it's
at
here.
once. and I stop. No, that's somebody else's house. I'm pinging it.
I don't see the ping.
No, I
Think it
don't
again,
either.
Bryan?
Oh, there it is.
You got it?
It's sort of over
I've
here.
no
Oh,
idea
okay.
why that area is black.
Right
it
there.
shouldn't be. So if you I'll just stand
Yeah,
you
it's
there
weird,
for a
isn't it?
second, and I will open that door. And you should be able to see through that door. For fuck's sake, the door's not opening.
I did notice there's an open door card.
There is an open door card, it just didn't work there when I clicked it. I checked it earlier. Just bear with me a second.
Nothing ever goes straight forward.
Well, I've no idea what's going on. I would imagine that in the 20 minutes I've been away, the API scripts have shut themselves down again. So if you just give me a second, I need to pop out the game, restart the API scripts, and that might explain why we have some strange behaviour. Or that indeed might itself be an effect of the apocalypse. Who knows? So
No amount of testing will ever be enough.
no.
No.
I tested this 1 hour before we came on air, and all the APIs were running at the time. No, the APIs are running. There's no reason why that door should be remaining locked. Yeah. Go ahead and try it. See if it works for you. It wouldn't work for me.
I don't have permission.
What, to open the door?
Yeah.
You really do. Let me just take a look. I'll come back into the game. I'll fix whatever's a fucking problem now. I am having a little bit of trouble getting back in. Just bear with me a second. I'll pop over onto the...
No worries.
You roll the game now. Mutiny.
Okay. I'm just going to go old school and open the door manually.
Okay.
So that should be you able to walk into your own house now. You should also be able to see, so I don't know why you can't. You're still having trouble with that light.
Yeah, it's so black.
I can't move either. Where the door, past the door.
You still can't move past the door. The door isn't there anymore. There's no reason why you should have a problem.
Oh, there we go. It's on the very far left. So this is my, I'm guessing my, where I put my shoes and stuff.
Yes,
Cool.
that's right. I'll just move you inside to get you started.
Okay.
I
Still,
think you've got a nice house.
it's not bad. It's a two-bedroomed house, and I'll get back to what I was trying to do before all the problems hit. I'll have to find out why the doors aren't unlocking properly. That's going to be a problem later.
Rusty
Okay.
hinges.
I'll shout for Julia then.
Okay, so you shout for Julia just as you've avoided a bit of a disaster there. She comes through this door over here.
Okay.
She comes through, she's dressed in her dressing gown, bunny slippers, and she's got a beer in her hand as well.
Okay.
Adam, who's this? She points at the other woman you've brought home.
I don't think she's the suspicious type. I'll just explain that she's one of the people who was on the... I'll explain the whole story, the whole, like,
Okay.
in like a condensed in over like 1 minute or something.
Okay.
So
I'll just say, should I step back outside for a bit, maybe?
I'll say you're fine.
She says, no,
Oh,
dude, come
okay.
in, make yourself comfortable. Do you want a beer? I'll get you a beer if you want a beer.
Yeah, I could really do with one, to be honest.
There you go. There she
Thank
is in
you.
her bunny slippers. And so she goes through here and says, so, Adam, go on. What do you... Have you been... What's going on? I've heard some strange rumours on the... They say that they're evacuating the city centre as well.
Yeah, as I was explaining, there's like there's these weird creatures that I've been encountering, and they've come back to make sure you're safe and to get my equipment. The police and what was it? The other ones, they're higher than the police, but they have guns. What they're called?
Well,
The armed response unit.
the armed response
Yeah.
unit. I wouldn't say they're higher than the police. They are a form of
The
police officer.
same. Okay. Well, the armed response were in the town centre, trying to keep these squid-like things back.
She comes back and hands you hands Erin another beer. She had brought 3, but like she listens to you talking about squid monsters and puts it down on the table next to her and says, "I think you've maybe had enough already, Adam." Squid monsters.
Have you not
I'll
heard
say-
anything
I'll say
from
thank
your
you.
work?
No, I haven't heard anything from work. I've been in a bath, hence
Uh,
the attire.
I'll say, well, believe it or not, he's telling the truth. There's something really weird going on.
Well, it's clearly
and
something.
it's really not safe.
There's clearly something weird going on, but squid. I mean, I heard the police had said something about
Yeah.
terrorist action in town, but I don't know.
No, it's they're trying to. They're not telling the whole story.
Well, when did they ever?
I mean, it's kind of complicated.
Okay.
You're really probably best not being here on your own.
Okay, well, Adam said something about moving, but
Yeah, you best come in with us. Well, me mainly, because you're not going to be safe here on your own in case anything. Because weird things are happening, whether you believe it or not.
okay, well, I
Yeah,
believe something
you'll see
weird's
for
happening,
yourself.
but where
So you wanna
is it
get-
we're thinking of going?
We've got like a point, like a safe point at the fairly safe point at the moment, and then we can start making more decisions because of the amount of people that be able to have like
Yeah,
resources and
There's a group
possible
of us, so
other locations.
Okay.
yeah,
So you need to kind of get dressed.
yeah. You'll see for yourself what's going on.
Okay.
But you can't stay here.
But
Seems to have calmed for now from the looks of the sky, because we used to be a lot purpler. I don't know if you've noticed.
I did notice the purple sky. Yes,
It's kind of like more of a violet now. So
it does seem to have died off a little bit. I don't know what's causing that. It's
but I'm taking this chance.
It's almost as strange as the fact that the Games Master's just double checked everything, and there's no reason why that door shouldn't have opened when you put your key in it.
Paranormal activity, Bryan.
Yes. You'd think something like that would have been more appropriate if we were playing.
There's still no
entropy
permissions.
effect.
Yeah,
Effect our
it
haunts
would.
and horrors, yeah.
Yes.
It would definitely be more appropriate in entropy effect our haunts and horrors.
If I kind of like give a gesture to Erin, seen as like, can you give her like a little, was it, with the like what women do? You know what I mean? Like they do their little natter and stuff. Like get the information across better.
Talk. Do you mean
I'll just-
talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean, like,
I mean, I'll just sit over here being female and, trying to
You know-
pretend that wasn't a massive
You mean,
overgeneralization
like, what-
about women.
You know that thing that women do better than us. What do you call it? Speech.
communicate. Yeah, communicate.
Okay, so you can make a communication. I mean, she's not entirely resistant to coming with you. Obviously, she's just a little bit confused as to
I was
why
mainly
you're
just to
heading.
keep it occupied while I get my stuff.
Right. Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
mean,
You
that's
guys
fair
chat
enough.
while you go get your stuff. What do you want to collect from your house?
Everything that was on my list. One second.
I'm going to ask her if she thinks. Yeah, I mean, if
Go
our
get me
neighbours
my.
are probably okay. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should ask them if
Sorry,
depends on if they believe us. Like, I don't know.
I didn't catch the first part. Who?
The
who are you talking
neighbours.
about?
You
The
said,
neighbours. Right.
yeah.
She says, "Well, I don't know what they've been watching, but I heard some, probably the news or something. I heard some crashing and screaming earlier."
Oh. Oh dear. Right.
Something about a guy jumping over the motorway on a bike. The usual.
I'll say to her, is it okay if I just go and check in on them?
Yes, of course, if you want to. Yeah, I thought that was odd that you couldn't see into that black area, but I'm right. There is actually a light on in the porch that should be shedding into that area, and just wasn't.
Right.
So I'm just going to move it slightly. Take a look. Yeah, that seems to be working a little bit better now, but I still can't explain why the doors won't open with a button push. After I went away and learned how to do that as well. Shocking. Right, okay. And tested it earlier, it was fine. Okay, so you're going to go and take a look at the neighbours. So if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I might go and get dressed because I'm still in my bunny slippers and my. So, Chris, what are you picking up while Erin's going to?
So I'm wondering if I'll have I won't have my main one, but I'll have like a small plant tissue kit, maybe
Yes.
at home in the freezer from like taking work home. So I'll collect that,
Yes.
put that Jello stuff that you told us to save. So I've got a place to put it now.
Good idea.
I'll get me martial arts stick, and
Yeah, you're bound to have at least one staff here at home.
yeah. I think I'll get my other little. I'll have my tool kit here. For my like compass, my lens, my trowel, stuff like that. So I'll have a trowel now, and I'll get at least a day's worth of clean clothes for me and her.
Right, you are. So while you're grabbing all that and running around, she comes up to help you patch. Well, she comes up to change into something a bit more
Sure.
appropriate for the apocalypse than her bathrobe, essentially. While you're
And if she
doing,
really wants to.
while you're doing that,
Well, I mean, if she's in a bathrobe and slippers, all she really needs is a towel. Because if you have your towel, then you're sorted.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And
course.
for anybody who's under 40, that's a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
If they're under 40 and listening
no.
to a live streamed RPG, I imagine they would probably get the reference. I would hope they
I'm
would.
gonna grab some of that. I'm sure we've got some form of the chemical that was used to kill this thing that we killed last time
Yeah.
earlier in the night.
Yeah, you can use.
Just to
I
get
think,
some
if
more
I
of
remember
it.
rightly, what you actually used was the fire extinguisher. However, you're also aware that this stuff does not survive bleach terribly well. So you'll certainly have some bleach under the sink or somewhere that you could use. So add a bottle of bleach to your list of equipment. Meanwhile, Erin, you're at the other door that probably isn't going to open when you tell it to either.
No, I can't even see it, so.
You click the button at least.
No, I can't get the button to
Let's
work.
see.
It just won't work.
No, it says I don't have permission.
Yeah, you
Mum?
absolutely
What?
do. I do not. This API shouldn't actually be blocking you at all. So I'm just gonna have to open the door manually,
Sorry.
It's some kind of caveman.
like some kind of caveman, exactly. Like
I
it's
say
the
open
20th
to-
century again.
I'll say over to Jenny to make herself at home. For now.
Actually, that appears to have opened. So
Okay.
I don't know why you can't see in, because once again there is a light source in there, or there should be.
Yeah. Like I can see through into the other house. Which I shouldn't be able to from here.
There you go.
Um,
You should be able to see into where you're going now. For fuck's sake, you still can't.
Nope.
Right, I'm just gonna have to move you
Can't
in,
move
Jenny.
into it either. Okay, no worries. I've got my hand ready just in case. I'll keep it like behind my back in case they're like wondering what the hell's going on.
There you go. Did
And
that
I'll say
door
hello.
open in front of you
Is there
there?
anybody here? Yeah.
It did
I
this
can see
time.
through.
Right, okay, well I've seen to have haven't done anything different, it's just suddenly started to work. So there you go. Okay, so you're saying hello, is there anybody here? It's deafeningly loud in here with the television blaring away. It's really, really
Right.
loud. It's cranked right up as if people are sort of half deaf. As you come through, you immediately know there's something wrong because there's a strange smell in the air. Make a
Oh
perception.
no.
Yes, make a perception.
people,
smelling
old people.
roll, please.
old people watching TV at 3 a.m. in the morning. Eee.
Yes.
Ooh, 17 with 4 stunts.
Okay, in that case, you recognise the smell. It's got a coppery smell to it. It's blood. It's a lot of blood. As you
That's not good.
Oh,
peering around, you get a look at this couch and you realise that there is the remains of what used to be a person on the
no.
couch, and as you're kind of looking at it, you think, "Oh dear, that looks like it was done by," and you don't really get much time to think beyond that.
Such an idiot, aren't I?
Because scuttling out the kitchen where it's been lurking,
Oh God.
this sort of manta ray-like thing with lashing tentacles comes out, sees you and races towards you. Okay, let us open up a... Yes, unfortunately, it's that time of day where I open the...
Would I have known where you would have gone?
Well, yeah, she told Julia where she was going, so
Okay.
Yeah.
she'd know from that. Okay, Jenny.
But would
could
you know she's been attacked?
No, you won't know that yet. Jenny, could you make a initiative test for me, please?
Initiative. Okay, I will start shouting for everyone,
Over the
basically.
blaring television.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Chris, could I have a perception hearing test from you, please?
I was going to say, can I do a perception?
You can indeed, yes. Well, oddly enough, you're going to get to act before the Man of War, at least.
Okay.
Right, let's have a look. And yes, 18. That's your perception. And it scrolled down a bit. Right, Adam is currently oblivious to the fact that Erin's screaming at the top of her lungs for help because one of these creatures is sort of slithering towards her on its multiple tentacles. And that's where we leave that and go over to...
Evil.
So, meanwhile, at the same time as that's happening to you, over at the supermarket, we have Rab and Joe in the car park, where you notice there's not actually many cars here, despite the fact that the supermarket's supposed to be open. It doesn't look as if it is, but make a perception seeing test for me, and I'll see if I can tell you anything else. It's supposed to be
Just less witnesses.
less witnesses, quite. Yep.
Oh.
Sorry, I was just loading up the sheep.
Okay.
I know Marie's not been in a few times.
Okay, so all you really notice is that the supermarket's not... There are some cars still here. There's just not as many as you might have expected. Having said that, it is 3 o'clock in the morning, so it occurs to you that you don't normally come and do your shopping at 3 o'clock in the morning, so maybe this is normal. Okay, Joe doesn't normally come and do his shopping at 3 o'clock in the morning, so maybe this is normal. Rab, you realise that actually this is, it just feels like it's not 3 o'clock in the morning to you guys, because you've been running around Newcastle all evening, sort of thing. You realise that the place is still open, it's just that the shutters on one side of the entrances are down, and the shutters on the other one are still open, so you can actually get in.
Is this like a 24-hour one? I don't.
Yes.
Is it kind of like how Asda and Stanley works, where they close, where they're 24-hour, but they close every night?
Well,
No, it's
they don't
the one in
close every
Asda.
night.
Hold on. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive. I've been shopping in there 2 in the morning.
not at the moment, obviously,
They
but
close on Saturdays and Sundays, or don't they?
They close
It's
at
not
weekends.
24/7.
Yes. It's not 24/7. No, they close at
Yeah,
weekends.
they'll
because
close
of
it. They'll
Sunday
close
It's
it
not
midnight.
I'm
Saturday
sure that
night.
sign says 24/7. I'm
Right,
sorry.
everybody's speaking at once. Can we let Mark say what he was going to say, please?
I'm just saying, just because of Sunday trading laws, they'll shut at midnight Saturday night, going into Sunday morning.
That's exactly right.
Open 10 till 4 Sunday, and then they reopen at 1 minute past midnight on Monday morning.
That's right. That's right. And the rest of the week they open 24 hours.
it's 6 a.m.
So, sorry, Marie, you were also trying to say something. What was it you'd like to say?
Yeah, roughly what Mark was saying.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, I suppose that explains why everybody spoke at once, because you were all saying the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to drop you guys on the map, and this is where things are going to get a little bit awkward if those doors continue to not behave themselves the way they're supposed to. But we will.
Sorry, Rab will deal with it all.
Okay, so I need to find Joe Watson. Can you see now, Ben?
Yes.
No mysterious dark patches we can't explain?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, that's a good start. I'll drop Rab in next.
This door is open, isn't
That's
it?
the one that's open, yes.
Yeah, so
Technically,
then
I
it's
should have
perfect.
put a closed door on the other one, and I haven't, because you can see through the far one, because it's like the inner shutters. There's holes drilled through. You can see through. It would be difficult to get in without ram raiding it, but there is a heavier shutter that can also close. But yeah, it does look as if they're open. They're just very quiet because it's 3 a.m.
We should have parked much closer to the door.
You can park closer to the door if you want to. Let me just go and grab whichever car you're in. You
A fast one.
parked it in the workshop. I think it was. Was it the sports car you guys were in?
It wasn't. I don't think it was a sports
no,
car. I
it's
think
not
it was
a
just a
sports car.
Volvo.
It is the
Whichever
Volvo.
one's get the largest boot space.
That's it wasn't.
That's what we did, wasn't it?
Well, it wasn't quite the largest because somebody else is using. Jenny and Chris are using the people carrier, but you took the next largest one. So I'm just going to pop the car
Yeah.
on that map for you.
I'm gonna say now. Normally, don't they have the fire exits? They don't shutter, do they? For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons, they don't shutter. You are quite
So
right.
we could always break in through the fire exit, which might set up an alarm.
The fire exits will be mag locked unless there's actually a fire alarm going off.
Yes.
Not take the mini. I think they did take the larger car.
They took the blue car. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to know, you could just look at the scene where we got chased by the T-Rex chicken thing.
I literally did. That's why I brought that car over.
There you go. We
That's
took the
where
blue
I
car.
picked it up from. So, what would you like to do?
Well, getting out of the car, I'm going to take one of my friends with me in my pocket.
Right.
Your Molotov.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that could be fun if somebody spots it when you're on your way out.
Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And then bomb it down.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm gonna put my bow on my back, but I don't intend to be seen, so I'm not really worried about carrying a lethal weapon.
Well, currently you're walking straight towards the front doors. So, if you're not
gonna
intending
sneak.
to be seen, they probably need to be moving somewhere else.
We could try like an employee entrance. Do we know of any of
Let's
those?
say we just go straight in the front door and then just fill up a trolley and then supermarket sweep it.
The issue is you're carrying a Molotov and I'm carrying a bow and arrow.
Yeah, with my Molotovs in my pocket.
Yeah, leave your bow and arrow in the
Yeah.
car, and then the problem's solved, isn't it?
The problem,
clearly he
yeah,
needs to
until
take
we
the
get
arrow
attacked
with him
by
because he
something.
needs to-
If we need a melee weapon in a hurry, then we just take one of the shelves apart and use the bracket.
All right,
Or we go
Okay.
to the homeware department.
all right. I trust you. I'll leave my bow back, and we'll just get a trolley and look innocent.
Okay, there are actually a number of things in the homewares department that you could press into service as a weapon in the unlikely event that you run into anything dangerous here.
Right about now, I think we're the most dangerous things here.
Probably, yeah. Okay,
Absolutely, yeah.
as Rab's approaching, I don't have a token for this lady because I didn't think she was going to be needed. As you're approaching, there's a woman in the store uniform standing over here. You notice that the roller blinds are not all the way down, but they're not all the way up either, so you actually have to duck slightly to get in. And you hear her say, hurry up and get in, Hinny. The police are telling everybody to stay in place. It's not safe to be out there. Get in, get in, get in.
Oh.
Oh, this is going to be difficult to nick from them.
No, it's not.
Going to be difficult to get out with the trolley then.
No, it's not.
Trust me.
Trust the Glasgow Ned. He knows what he's doing. This isn't his first rodeo.
Oh no.
Okay, so you've got a woman over here in a store uniform. Like I say, I haven't placed her because this is not a combat encounter. She's not likely to be needed.
I'm gonna punch her.
I'll turn around to the woman and say, "Aye, man, you've no idea the things that we've seen just trying to get here. You better hide somewhere."
She looks at you with a kind of frozen grin on her face and says, "Uh-huh." Yeah.
I said you better hide pronto.
Why do I need to hide exactly?
Those are the big things outside with the teeth and the claws and shit.
Because of the yeah, just go in.
Probably just thinks you're on something.
It probably is.
might
To
be.
be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Okay, so move yourselves as appropriate.
You just all better hope. You just all better hope that this supermarket doesn't have a pharmacy.
It does.
Oh no.
And Rab is a qualified chemist.
Yes, I mean, as you step inside, anybody who's familiar with it will immediately recognise which supermarket I have roughly based this one on, and it isn't
Tesco.
actually the one from the correct place in town, but still. It's a
Oh,
one
is it
north on the
Stanley?
road. It's
Oh,
possibly.
now I
Other
understand.
than Stanley.
Other post-apocalyptic supermarkets are also available.
I'll go in the female toilets because I've never done that before.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Nobody's
That's a joke. I'm not really.
Okay. So, we don't really need to use the map much for this bit, actually. I just wanted you to get a rough idea of what the place looked like and how big it is. And there's a possibility we might need the map later on. But essentially, you don't need to move yourself 1 square at a time. What would you like to do while you're here?
Nick a monumentous amount of food.
Okay.
Well, canned goods,
Mm-hmm.
dry goods like powdered mash and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm
Doodles.
going to have to visit the alcohol department and the pharmacy department.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely the pharmacy. Alcohol. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Stuff, Rab, and Joe nicked. I'm creating a handout. I am going to allow you to edit it. All players. Hopefully this bit will work. It's probably just the API that's playing funny buggers. There you go. You should
I actually.
you should see a handout that's just popped up that says Stuff, Rab, and Joe nicked.
Yeah, it's blank.
Yeah, it will be, because I've set that so you can edit it, so you can write in there what you're trying to steal. Okay, 2 things you have said, though. Alcohol, that's currently unavailable because it's where that woman was. It's behind her in a locked...
Everything.
Yeah.
It's going to take a couple of trips.
It's behind her in a locked case, and the pharmacy, although it's here, is currently closed, so the shutters pulled down over the pharmacy. Similarly,
Can
with
I not
the...
use my burglary talent to deal with that?
You could try.
I was going to say, is there
Very-
anyone near us?
I mean, yes, because the pharmacy is... I'll just move you slightly so I know you can definitely see it. If I move you here, this is the pharmacy area here, and these over here are the checkouts.
Okay.
So you are fairly close to the checkouts. However, having said that, there's not currently anybody at the checkouts because they're all busily stacking shelves and what have you. And what usually happens is when somebody comes to the checkout, somebody will run back.
Yeah.
And, well, I don't need to tell you, Mark. You know what you're talking
Can
about.
can I sneak over to a checkout and take the cash?
No.
No.
That oh.
Oh, you
Okay.
think they leave cash unattended in unlocked checkouts?
I don't know how a supermarket operates. Maybe.
Mark,
I know
Mark
Mackey's
does,
do.
So
I know Mackey's does.
Yeah.
No, because you need to be able to Basically,
Don't
the actual cash floats are locked in place.
Wait, hold up.
And there
You
was
said
only
that. You
two
said if
ways
someone
to
comes
get
to the
them off.
supermarket. You said if someone comes to the supermarket, someone runs over to the till, serves them, and then runs back. So that means there's a till in use.
Yeah, but if you're going to try some like a note grab, then that would be on the way out rather than on the way in.
Yes.
Let's get what we need first, and then if you want to try that, then you can try that.
Also,
But
you're a bank robber. I think nicking the 25 quid cash float out of a supermarket till's probably
It's a bit
big
demeaning
easier.
for you.
Well, I did.
I
did
know
rob
you're not a
Sports
very
Direct
good
still.
bank robber, but you know.
You don't get
Well,
out of bed for less than 10 grand.
Aye.
My compulsion is greed, so I imagine I would just nick cash when I'm where I could.
No, that's not really how greed works.
No, that's narcolepsy.
Yeah. No, narcolepsy falls.
No, not narcolepsy.
Kleptomania is what.
Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, honestly, 25 quid to 150 quid is going to be so far beneath you that you wouldn't even consider that worth taking. And there's a big difference between greed and kleptomania. So, yeah.
Okay.
So what are the pair of you doing anyway?
I am going to have a look at the pharmacy.
Okay. You're going to need a lookout because if anybody spots you, they're obviously going to stop you. So, can I get a perception seeing test from you, please, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
You've
Oh,
been...
I already had it up. Sorry.
That's all right. No problem.
I was wondering why it wasn't opening because I already had it, but I had it minimized.
Oh,
Got
18.
18.
Okay, so you're keeping an eye and you realise that there's somebody close enough that they might be able to see whatever he's doing. So it crosses your mind you might be able to distract them somehow.
Okay. Who is it? Is it a worker or
Yeah,
is
it's a
it
member of
just
staff,
a
yeah.
civilian?
There's hardly
I'll, go
anybody
up to
here
them.
shopping.
I'll go up to them and I'll just start inquire about products.
Okay.
Or where do you find the Doritos? Hang on, these, how much are they? Because I remember back in my day when Doritos used to cost less, and I'll talk about that.
Perfect. Okay, yeah.
I am only like 20 odd, so they'll be proper confused. Like, what do you mean back in your day?
Okay, so as you're doing that, you're kind of inching around casually, just forcing her to turn ahead so she doesn't really notice what Rab's up to. Rab, you see this, you reckon he's bought you a few seconds, you're not going to have long, but you don't usually need long, so what would you like to do?
Try to force the lock so that I can get into the pharmacy.
Okay, make a lockpicking test, so that's under...
I don't actually have lockpicking.
Okay, that comes as... Ah,
But I've got
right.
the burglar talent.
Sorry, I know why, and that's because the skill we're looking for is actually called sabotage. So it's dexterity sabotage rules. So that's
Okay, my thing's not adding up all the dice.
well, that's one more technical issue we're dealing with this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank
That
you
would
for
be
joining us in
16.
Pandora's Fuck Up.
It's 11, 12.
Yeah, it's at
16.
16, I think, and actually it's worse than that because it would be 18 because it doesn't seem to have added your
Oh,
sabotage.
it's not added on the two either, yeah.
Aye. So that will be
Question.
Yeah.
Did you do the plus
Type over.
2 when you added the skill? Yeah, did you do the type over?
I typed this up for him, and I seem to think I did, and I also seem to think it was working last week. But if the character sheet scripting guy has been working on the character sheets, it sometimes re-breaks that every time. So
Yeah.
I will just go into my.
It's odd because it didn't actually break my seeing one. So
That is odd,
Yeah.
actually. Okay, well, we'll chalk that up to one more odd thing that's happening tonight. So, Mark, while I fix that for you, what are you doing?
Well, once I'm into the pharmacy, I'm going to resist the urge to just clear the shelf.
Yes.
I'm actually going to look. First of all, Rob's going to develop a conscience for about 30 seconds, and I'm going to look for medication that ends in things like Ellen.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Good idea. Okay, you make a quick scan. It's not going to take you long to find that sort of thing.
Like amoxicillin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously penicillin, other antibiotic type things, because Rab knows his way about like a chemist.
Yes, it does.
But then I'm also going to look for things like tramadol and fun time things.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
You do find a few. Sorry, I was just dealing with that message Marie's just sent me. Yes, Marie, that's the stuff I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find that very quickly. Not the tramadol so much, but you find all the cylinders fairly quickly.
Yeah.
You make a perception seeing test to see if you can spot the tramadol and stuff like that.
Yeah. The
15.
having used to work in a pharmacy and being from Glasgow, he'd be looking for things like temazepam,
Yep.
tramadol,
Yeah.
a DF118, which is a heavy dose of dihydrocodeine, which you can actually convert to morphine.
Yep.
Well, you have
Yeah.
actually managed to find them. You can grab about what's your dexterity?
4.
Okay, so you can grab up to 8 packets of that type of stuff, but you'll also have grabbed about a dozen of the various forms of antibiotics you were looking for, and a couple of packs of painkillers as well.
Yep.
Is there a chance he may have thought about getting anxiety medication to possibly reduce fear in the future?
No.
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 Rab doesn't think that far ahead when it comes to medication.
No.
Alright,
I have a question as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do they? I know from like a survival standpoint later on, vitamins and all that stuff might become an issue. Where do they keep them? They
On
keep
the
them behind the
shelves.
pharmacy, or
No.
is it on the actual shelves?
Yeah,
Yes.
it would actually be on the shelves in the supermarket itself.
Okay.
But
Because if we just
well
like
spotted.
live on like beans, we might not be getting all of the vitamins that you would normally need.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, at some point you might want to visit a health food shop to pick up the kind of supplements. If things go so completely to, I mean, we're talking at the moment as if the apocalypse has already wiped out civilization. And let's face it, you're in a supermarket that's still got
Just for a couple of weeks.
staff working. We're only in the
Yeah.
first 24 hours so far. But
Yeah.
you're quite right. If you're thinking long term, you're going to need that sort of thing picking up as well.
Well, even longer term, we might have to find out how tasty some of these new life forms are.
Indeed,
That's
so.
true.
You might, yeah.
No, I'll be able to
Okay,
let you
so
know.
Rab's stuffing these as fast as he can into all his pockets and the
Down my trouser legs. And
yeah. He already looks like MC Hammer with like loads of stuff pushed down his trousers and into the pockets on his stuff. It's obvious.
here, mate, you can't touch this.
It's obvious
Oh my
he's nicked a
God.
load of stuff, but he's currently inside the pharmacy. He only opened the shutters enough to kind of crawl underneath because
Yep.
he knew any more and he'd definitely be spotted. What's happening at the moment is the lady that Joe is distracting is starting to kind of glance over her shoulder because she knows she's supposed to be keeping an eye on things, so there is always a possibility that she might just notice you. So can I have a dexterity
I am
stealth
going to.
test? No,
Sorry,
go ahead,
I
go
was.
ahead.
I was gonna say, when I see you like starting to look over and that, and I like accidentally knock a load of stuff off the shelf or something, or like make some kind of ruckus.
Well,
Yes, you can, and I'm going to allow you to add your communication bonus to Rab's roll.
But my roll of
Rab got
19
a
with
good
4
roll.
stunt points.
Shit.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
not gonna need it then.
Yeah,
Is he?
go ahead and use any appropriate stunts from the I want to say
From the
encounters,
from
but
the
that's not
Bob the Supermarket blind stunt team.
one. That's the one, oh God, I can't.
What would it
believe
actually be
begins with
under?
an E. Begins with an E.
Exploration.
That's the one. Thank you. Exploration stunts.
Hideout.
Yes, you can.
Let's have a look. I'll actually use 1 in when a plan comes together,
Right.
1 in a stitch in time, and 2 in paid up.
Okay. Right. So you might have to read those out to me. and I'll try and find a flaw in your
When
plan.
a plan comes together, it's to reveal it was part of the plan all along, granting a bonus equal to the stunt points spent on one ally's next test during the same encounter to accomplish the same goal. And I must make the decision before the ally rolls. So basically, if he's going to steal something or roll a perception test, I can grant him a bonus to that before he actually rolls it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stitching time is putting effort in to do it right the first time, because Rab knows that you can't hang about in these situations.
Yes. Yeah.
Setting yourself up for more success later.
Yeah.
Gain +1 per stunt point on your next test related to this one during the encounter.
Okay. So the next time you try and steal anything, you can add
I get +1.
another +1 to your appropriate roll. Steal anything or hide yourself.
Yeah, and then paid out, which it says is 1 plus stunt points.
Yeah.
And I've also used 2. It's in the course of the endeavour. You win a bet, happen across a conveniently abandoned briefcase of cash, or discover something valuable you can pawn off to make a buck, or just discover something valuable. Temporarily gain +1 resources per stunt point spent. This lasts until the next time I fail a resources test.
Okay. So what you've done is you've managed to find all the drugs you were looking for, and you've found something else in there as well, something you know has a really good street value, and you've found like a pallet of it. And you think,
God.
I'm not sure how I can get this out of there, and then you notice the large, rather sturdy medical bag, like medical carry bags in the corner. You know, those
when I open it, does it glow?
Not quite.
And weird orchestral music starts playing.
Not quite, but you've managed to slip that into one of these. I'm trying to describe them. They're not quite like a doctor's bag because they're not as solid on the side, but they're a kind of square, black, thick plastic bag that can be used to carry these things around. Usually they would be used when stuff like this has been transferred from one pharmacy to another quickly. So you drop it in there, pick that up, and you've managed to get something with significant amount of street value to it as well. You can't wait.
I added stuff onto the stuff Rab and Joe nicked. Is that correct? The amount?
Let me just have a look. Antibiotics 2, painkillers 8. Yes, it is. Also
12 and 8.
12 and 8. Sorry, yes. Yes, that's fine. You can also add that you've got 8.
Yeah, there was that codeine stuff as well for making morphine. Not that Rab's got plans for that, honestly.
Yes. You can add 8 boxes of all the sort of all the sort of high street value stuff he was looking for anyway, and 1 pallet of, I don't know, Marie, give us an idea, something.
Well, temazepam.
Temazepam, yeah.
Which the street name for it is jelly eggs. It's little yellow capsules full
I'm gonna say
of
that 'cause I can't spell
basically
temazepam.
stuff that jelly eggs are yellow eggs. They basically hold sleeping tablets, but the stuff can be injected and give you a high.
Okay. You know, maybe some like knockout stuff would be good for like just anything actually.
You can actually
Well,
use that to knock people out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar stuff to horse tranquilizers.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mild one for humans that'll put you to if you don't have other problems, it's likely to give you an 8-hour sleep. Doctors don't like to prescribe it because it's highly addictive, and it's also got high street value.
Yeah. Okay.
It used to have anyway because it was injectable. So there you are.
The more you know.
Excuse me. Okay,
Yeah.
so who's... Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. Who's currently back at the base? Who's currently back at the workshop?
Me.
You and your sister. Sean's character. Okay. Okay, so you make a perception seeing and a perception hearing roll for me, please.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if this. Get this. Sorry, my character sheet crashed earlier. I'm just reopening it.
That's okay. It's a little bit tricky when you've got a party split across 3 separate locations at once to keep everybody engaged, but we're
Yeah.
doing our best.
So you want perception?
Hearing and seeing, please.
I've only really got perception, so just roll it twice, yeah?
Well, just roll it. Yeah, go on, roll it twice. I'll let you roll. Okay.
There you go.
You hear vaguely that there's somebody outside. There's voices outside. Human voices.
I'll ask Thomas if he's got CCTV or something, if we can see who's outside.
He hasn't got CCTV, no.
Oh, okay.
He keeps meaning to get it, but he hasn't got it.
Aye. Is it just the shutter, or is there a door in the shutter or anything?
There is a separate door in the shutter you can go out, yes. It's like padlocked
Yeah,
on the inside.
I'll open that a little bit to see who's outside.
Okay. So, what you've got outside is a police car is pulled up just slightly off the map, and you've got several police officers are investigating the remains of these creatures and are currently trying to extinguish the fire as well. Now let's just...
Okay, well, I'll come out the door and thank whatever deity there is that Rab's somewhere else. now that, to use the parlance, the busies have showed up.
Yes. So I'm just going to take us back to our landing page. Probably the most appropriate since we've got people split over 3 different locations. Okay, and only one of them's actually in combat, and I'm making them sweat for a bit longer.
Yeah.
So, the police, as you come out, you can see the police are getting the fire under control. One of them sees you come out. Says, "Hello, miss. Is this your establishment here?"
No, there was some weird things, chases, and the man that owns the garage let us in.
The man that owns the garage let you in, did you say?
Aye.
Okay. Is he around?
Aye, yes. Do you want to speak to him?
I do want to speak to him,
Aye, I'll open the door and shout for Thomas and tell him that the police want to speak to him.
Okay, Thomas comes out. One of the police officers says, "Are you the owner of this establishment, sir?" He says, "Yes, I am." "And what would your name be exactly?" "So I'm Thomas Gallagher. I've owned this establishment for the last X number of years." Just a second while we call that in, and clicks the button on his shoulder radio and says, "Can I just have a check, please? We've got a gentleman here, one Thomas Gallagher. We're at what he claims is his business address. Could you just run a check and make sure that that is the case for me?" And he gives you the street address and the name of the place. And you vaguely hear, which apparently he understood. Like, the other police officer's kind of looking at the remains of these creatures. He says, "So who was using the fire bombs exactly?"
Technically they were Molotov cocktails, no fire bombs.
No.
And
All right,
it was
Karl
me.
Marx.
It was me. I threw them.
Oh,
did
no.
you
I
now?
threw them.
Did you think that was a good idea? Did you throw fire bombs around this close to petrol?
Yes.
Well, it was that or them things were going to eat us, so I thought it was probably best.
The kind of officers look at each other and is kind of shaking their heads, and one of them says, "Well, I'm not quite sure what these things are, but I'm pretty sure that throwing Molotov cocktails around is probably not a very good idea around petrol." He also turns to the other one and says, "Karl Marx was a political philosopher, by the way. He wouldn't have been involved in... You're probably thinking somebody more like Che Guevara." The second officer looks at her and is like, all right. God. Fine. Right, you are, Professor. Can we just deal with...
We were on the metro and it stopped, and basically them things just turned up everywhere as we tried to get between the metro and where we live. I just live round the corner, and them things were everywhere, and I panicked, and there was petrol and there was bottles, so I threw it at them.
Uh-huh. That's not a local accent you have there, is it?
Oh, right. Is it going to be like that, is it?
Now, just calm
No,
down.
it's no local accent. It's no local accent. I'm part of a sporting team round here. My sister goes to the university, and we live round the corner in university accommodation.
I see, right.
Scottish Fireball team.
Aye.
And what would your name be?
Elizabeth Ryan. Do you
No,
need
no.
me to spell that?
No. Ask them what crime you've committed.
And your sister's name?
Victoria Ryan.
And is your sister here?
She's inside there.
Okay, let's just go and have a quick word with your sister, shall we?
She didn't see any of this. She was in the house round the corner. She just came down to make sure I was alright.
She came down here amongst
After all that.
petrol bombs.
After all that. Aye.
Actually, it's just Molotov cocktails. Alright, don't you start.
But it was Molotov cocktails, and it would have been Che Guevara. He's on loads of t-shirts. That's how I know who he is.
So you say you're in a sports team. What sport do you play?
Chase tag.
What's chase? Never heard of chase tag. The other officer go, Pirates, man! Do you remember Pirates when you were a kid?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, man, you must remember it. Oh, of course I remember Pirates. So that's pretty much what chase tag is. It's kind of good. I sometimes watch it. It's well. What team are you playing with?
Newcastle.
Do you know? I think I might have seen you on the telly.
They don't call me Killer Honest. That's no my nickname.
The sergeant looks him up and down and says, "All right, you want to ask her for an autograph as well?" And this little light bulb seems to come on behind his eyes, and he tears a page out of his. Could you just put the sergeant's like, "Oh my God, I was joking." You right? Okay, you hurry up and get her.
Who do you want me to make it out to?
PC Dave
Okay.
Redmond.
Dave. There you are.
PC Dave.
Thank you for your support, Dave.
You just keep playing. That's a great spot. I'll answer, Sarge. I'll be in a minute. Meanwhile, the sergeant's speaking to your sister. He's jotting some notes down. Comes back out and says, "Well, it would seem that your sister doesn't entirely agree with your version of events. There's just a few minor inconsistencies. Nothing too serious, but I would like to clear one or two things up. She came down here after the whatever you would call it. With
Altercation? Is that what you call it?
let's call it an altercation, shall we?
Aye. I mean, I would call it aliens overran the metro and tried to kill me, but you call it an altercation, 6 and 2 3s.
Aliens overran the metro.
Aye.
Aliens overran the metro.
Aye.
It doesn't seem like they're in the loop.
Drinking tonight, yeah.
No, I'm in training. I don't drink.
Okay. Well, we do seem to have some strange remains over here that I'll need to have a bit of a look. Go ahead. Thank you very much, Control. Okay, Mr. Gallagher.
Oh
thank
my
you very
God,
much for
they
your
killed Kenny. Sorry.
You bastard!
So, Mr. Gallagher, do you have any ID on you at all? Yeah, I think so. goes through his wallet. Yeah, that one's got a photograph. Would that do? Yes, everything seems to be in order. So, Mr. Gallagher, I would just suggest that you you keep your friends from throwing Molotov cocktails around where you have petrol. It just seems that that was a bit of a disaster waiting to happen. We can understand under the circumstances. I mean, normally we wouldn't suggest that members of the public engage dangerous animals in the street. That's kind of what we're for, although I am aware we were busy at the time. I'm just going to call in some scene of crimes officers to take a look, cordon the area off. We'll have a few more questions for you all, but I don't suppose there's any major issue. I don't think we really need you in at the station just at this moment. But he turns back to you, could you just clear up the question about your sister being here? Just repeat what you told me earlier.
There was all the altercation happened.
That's right.
And I was worried about my sister, so
Right.
I used the phone in that office because none of the mobiles are working either.
That's true.
So I used the phone in the office to phone her, and I said, "We're going to come and get you." And we used one of Thomas's cars to go, and we beeped outside, and she came out, and she came in, and then we drove back here.
Ah, right. So you went to get her.
Aye.
Ah, right. That's slightly different to the story you told me initially, where you said that she came to you.
Well, I'm out in the street and there's burning aliens everywhere, and I've had to fight them, and I've had to run through the streets away from them, and I'm in a strange. I don't live here. You might have noticed that I don't live here.
I thought you
And
said you lived round
for
the
all I
corner.
know, this is on every Saturday night in Newcastle. I don't know. And I got and you're asking me questions. Oh, did you do this? Did you do that? What? So I wasn't like 100% the first time you asked me. What? Arrest me. Go on.
Well,
Maybe the cells will be safer than the metro.
well, I don't think we have any cause to arrest you just this moment. That we might have some further questions we could take you down to the station for if you'd be more comfortable. But I think, well, we'll wait till the detectives get here, shall we? If you want to make yourself as comfortable as possible indoors, and I'll start cordoning off this area. Meanwhile,
God.
back in Jesmond. Dun, dun, dun. Workshop, supermarket, terrace house in Jesmond. Dun, dun. Turn order. Jenny, what would you like to do?
Let's have a look. I'm just gonna see my movement.
You could probably give me a fear test first, actually. So can I have a
Oh.
can I have a willpower courage roll, please?
Oh no.
Okay, no, you're doing okay.
That's alright.
You've seen these things brought down by people before. There only appears to be one of them. You don't think you could handle it on your own, but you know there are two other people nearby.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, shit, and then like back out through the door, close the door behind me, and run back round into the house
Right. Okay.
next door.
I'll move you around, seeing as we had some problems with that earlier. Okay, you come dashing back into the house, whilst you can hear Adam and Julia upstairs. So they come down the stairs. He's got like a bunch of cases packed, and she's changed into some actual clothing rather than just a bathrobe. Chris, you coming down the stairs, you see. I'll just move you to the stairs. As you're coming down the stairs, you see Erin come dashing through your front door, kind of pale and worried.
I'll say, there's one of them things next door. I don't think your neighbours have survived it. We need to get going now.
Oh, Doris
before
and
it
Rob.
gets out.
Doris and Rob, that was them.
There was blood in there. Like, just we need to leave now before it gets out the house.
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Can I do a perception?
Yes, of course, you can. Yeah.
I'm like proper freaking out here.
Yeah. Okay, that's a
Oh
failure.
God.
Even though I can see it.
Even though you can see it, unfortunately, you've failed your perception roll, so you're concentrating on Erin. So instead of getting a round's head start, could you
That's
just roll
bad.
initiative for me, please? And I will add that to your turn.
I'll tell Erin to get in. Sorry,
Julie.
I'll tell her to get into Julie to get in the back room
Okay.
and close the door.
You've got decent weapons. All I've got's a hammer.
I'll throw you my baseball bat if you need it.
Oh, thank you very much.
If you give me your initiative roll, then and I'll
Yeah,
see
I'm doing it 1 second.
when and if you can.
It's gotta be when I can do it, though, obviously as well. Oh,
You'd have to, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
select my character. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll sort that for you. So you scored 14. So it's actually you to go first. So if you want to.
Is it a minor or a major?
Throwing her the baseball bat will be a minor.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so you throw the baseball bat. Jenny, could I just get you to roll a dexterity to catch it, please?
Okay.
Chris got a fire extinguisher to the face. You're gonna get a
14.
baseball bat to the face.
14, right? He throws you the baseball bat and you catch it. You can now add a baseball bat to your
Yay.
character sheet. Do you need the stats for it?
Yes.
I'm going to say that. Okay. Let's see. Hand-to-hand weapons.
Well, it's
baseball.
actually it's a sledgehammer without the bit on the end, but
Yeah, but we're treating it as a baseball bat. So it's actually a sort of a sledgehammer handle. So,
hammer could be put
I can
back
give you the
onto it.
stats if you like, Jenny.
I have
Yeah?
the stats on my own character, so
It's a 1d6
Alright.
plus 2 damage. Your rolls +1.
Actually, Ben, could you be typing that in the chat for us so she can just copy and paste it if she needs to? Whilst
I
Chris,
can't.
can you be telling me?
yeah.
What was it you can't do, Jenny? Sorry.
I can't update the damage on the. I can add the baseball, but I can't seem to update the damage to my sheet. It's
Jesus,
alright.
if
I'll
any more
just.
technical issues we're gonna have to do. Just a second.
Right.
I'll bring your carrot.
Is the +2 just what it has normally, or do you get the +2 from like a
Yeah,
stat that you
that's what it
have?
has normally. So it'll be 1d. It'll be 1d6 plus 2 plus whatever your
Okay.
strength is.
Unless you've got shot hafted,
So-
of course.
Hold on, I'm in your character sheet now.
Yeah.
You've managed to type baseball bat under range, so I'll just put that
Oh, I know, I did that wrong. But
baseball bat. So roll would be, I think baseball bat is a brawling weapon, so that's going to be, so maybe fighting that. It's going to be +1 either way. So the damage is 2d6 plus 2. Now then, what's your strength? 0. So that's it. It's all typed in.
Okay.
Right, sorry,
Thank you
Chris,
very
go ahead. What
much.
would you like to do? You've used a minor action to throw the baseball bat at Erin. You've still got a major action. What would you like to do? Chris?
I would like. If it would move into it and then hitting it be 2 actions, I'm guessing.
Not if you
No.
charge. What's your movement? And I'll tell you if you can charge it.
My speed is 12.
Right, okay. It will be 2 actions for you then because it's just too far away. Also, it would be through a window.
What if I charge to here and like a jump thing and jump from there and land on top of it with the attack?
Well, A, the problem with that would be that that's actually a 3-meter jump you could probably pull off. But B, you would be straight through a plate glass window, which is probably not ideal.
yeah.
No, I'd be going down on this. I wouldn't be going to. It's outside. Okay.
It's outside.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the window.
That's why
yeah.
I've located it on the other side of the window.
Okay. Can I use my major to possibly block? Oh, it's going to just come through the glass window, isn't it? I'm going to get to here.
Okay, yeah, you can use the couch as cover. So you run over there and take cover behind the couch. That's going to give
I'm
you
gonna
+1 defense.
I know you can't move, but I am going to slowly move that couch eventually.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so that's Adam has thrown you a weapon and taken up a defensive position behind the couch arcade, or barra couch. Erin, what would you like to do?
I am going to move into this corner here, and then I want to pull that couch so it's like blocking across here.
So you're also taking
Like-
cover behind the couch. Yeah.
Yes.
No problem. You get +2 to defend yourself using the couch.
Okay.
Okay, so it is the man of war to go, and the first thing it's going to do is try and smash its way through the glass window to get to you. So it's going to need a strength might test of 11 or better.
Oh,
It comes smashing through the window. There's glass everywhere. It comes in. Oh, sorry, a second. Screen's just turned itself off. Has somebody upset some gremlins today or something? Okay, so
Say that would be a blackout.
yeah,
just one of them
it
days.
is. It smashes its way through the window. There's shards of glass everywhere. It's not likely to hit you both because you're both behind cover, though. So that's its major action is to smash through the window. Its minor action is going to be to move to here. Oops, sorry. There. Equidistant
Right.
between you, shall we say. That's the man of war done. Adam, what would you like to do?
What direction is it looking?
It's very difficult to tell because it's got those rows of 3 eyes on the side of its head. From the position it's in, the front of the head is facing straight forward, but that means there are at least 2 eyes looking at both of you.
And there's
Yeah,
a
it's
way I
looking at
can
both
get
of
an
us.
advantage on it, like by coming behind it.
Yes, you think if you can get around behind it, you might be able to. You don't think its eyes can swivel that far around. You think it's
Okay.
got about a 90-degree arc of vision. So
I'll try and do that. then.
sorry, 180 arc of vision. So you think if you can get into its rear arc, you probably, yeah, give it a try.
It's a
Just-
blind spot.
Just move into its blind spot. So if you place yourself there, that's a minor action. So if you want to take a major action, you can.
I'm going to whack it with my Ojitsu stuff.
Okay, you whack it with your bull staff. Go for it. Okay, so thwack. You hit it just barely, but you have hit it. It's 1 point of combat stunts. How the hell did you get? Oh right, you're quite good at this. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay, you just barely hit it, but you have hit it. So
Just realised the damage is wrong on my stuff.
you've
It was
got
on
1
6.
point of stunts, and you can go ahead and roll the damage.
Let's see, attack stunts. Combat, okay. Not enough for pawn. I could. I'll do. I'll do duck and weave
Okay, yeah.
once I've attacked.
Okay. So you thwack it in the back of what you take to be its head with your bow staff. Roll the damage.
Ooh,
Shit!
nice.
Fucking hell!
That's maxed
Has he
out.
murdered it?
It hasn't murdered it, no, but that's 8 damage is going to get past the combination of its armor and its toughness.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
Yeah, well, I think that's just uncalled for.
By the way, for some reason, on technical side, I now see the dice again suddenly.
All right.
That'll be something to do with one of your settings.
I didn't do anything.
Well, that about
Go on.
sums up the night we're having. That's literally
Yeah.
almost everyone has had some technical issues of some description now. So you
Yeah.
whack the creature with the bull staff. You then start ducking and weaving, ready for its counter attack, which you expect to see coming soon. Erin, you to go. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm gonna use this baseball bat to whack it.
Okay, go for it. You've
11.
just barely hit it, but you have hit it, so go ahead.
Okay. 8. Hey, not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Max damage for.
You know in Shaun of the Dead when they go around just whacking the zombie with...
Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, so you whack the creature with the baseball bat that you've just acquired, doing it a fairly major wound, you think, actually. Just double check that I've
Okay.
got that right. No, I haven't. Not quite as major
I-
as I thought, but still pretty serious. Can you?
Can I duck back down behind the
Yes, of course you
sofa?
can. Okay, so with you two both welling into this thing, it makes a sort of shrill, whistling, shrieking noise. You're not quite sure what that's all about, but as it does so, it's thrashing about madly with its tentacles. So it's going to make a stunt attack. So if it passes, it gets 2 points of stunts rather than actually
bet
doing
it's-
a.
Yeah, I bet it's calling its friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's not good.
Of course it is. So, let's see if I can make a stunt attack. So I would roll it as a standard attack, but then don't get it in. If I pass, I get to make the stunt. So what would the defense for both of you be? And I'll make the stunt attack against the lowest target.
I get a +1, so...
Mine. Sorry.
Just defense, yeah?
Just defense, please, yes.
So my defense is 12 + 1, so 13.
And Jenny?
Mine's the same because I get the
12's the target number.
+2.
17. So it's past making a stunt attack. So instead of hitting you for damage, it gets 2 stunt points. What it's doing with those stunt points is making a multiple attack, which means it now gets to attack each of you with a tentacle. So Jenny, this one's against you. It needs 13 to hit you.
Okay.
Oh, look at that, it hit. So it retaliates from the heavy blow you gave it to its nose with a massive slap with one of its tentacles. 8 points of damage. Sorry, 6 points of damage.
Okay, I can take toughness off that.
You can take your toughness off that, yes.
Right, that hurt a lot.
Yeah, I should imagine it probably did. It's now also going to try and hit Chris.
If we get out of combat, there's someone in the room that knows first aid.
Yeah.
All right.
17 and 4 stunt
Oh.
points. So,
Oh, God.
Oh.
it's actually 16, not 17, because it's got a -1 penalty because you're behind it. However, that's still a hit. It's still a hit with 4 stunt points, which I'm sure you're pleased about. It can't use the multiple attack again because that was oh shit! Sorry, this attack was generated by stunts, so it doesn't get its stunt points. It just gets the hit.
Oh.
Good then.
Phew.
Yeah. That's going to
Still,
make a big difference. 6 points of damage you take, Chris, but reduce that by whatever your toughness is.
Do I use my first conviction or not?
It depends.
I mean,
It's the first time.
So no one's used one. No one's used it so yet, and it is reclaimable. So
Only if you steer towards your thing. So, it's up to you. 6 points of damage.
okay, so I take 2 off my toughness.
Oh bloody hell! Right, 4 points of damage then.
I think maybe with conviction, it's maybe if you like to stop yourself from dying or something.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
Or someone else.
I've still
Yeah.
got. Yeah, I'll take the 3 hit. I'll take 4. Did you say?
4 damage.
Or
Okay.
uncertain.
So it whacks you heavily across the chest for 4 points of damage, and then with its wildly thrashing.
Have any of us regained any health at all since the last attack in the garage? No.
No, because
I
you
healed
haven't had any
everyone,
medical
didn't
care
I?
or anything since then. You got a breather
Oh.
at the time, but you would have added that back in at the time. I think.
Nearly at half health.
So you should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Erin, it's you to go. No, it's not. Sorry, it's Adam to go.
No, it's yeah.
Yes, me. I'm not happy. I'm going to hit him again.
Okay, go for it.
Gotta take it down
Yeah. So,
quick.
actually, it's so just attack me with tentacles, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna attack short-hafted. Oh,
Bloody hell. 20.
Oh,
As it thrashes its tentacle at you, you spot a cluster of what looks like soft organs underneath, near where the tentacles come out, and you ram the bow staff up into them.
Now it's
6
Shaun of the
points
Dead.
push
happy
damage.
facts.
Yes. So
That is a
roll your
cookery.
damage and pick your 16 points.
Take out an opponent. I'm going to use shock and awe for the first one,
Okay.
and then lightning attack.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So lightning attack. So I need to do my damage for this one. So which is what's the
7
first
points
attack?
damage. So, how would you like to describe the way you defeat this creature?
Also, I didn't even have to use the quick attack. Okay, I'm literally going to stab it in the eye. I'm guessing that's the weak spot.
Right, you are. So you've hit it in a sort of dangly collection of objects underneath. It's spun round and you jam the bow staff in its eye, goes straight through, ruptures the eye. You can feel the breaking of the orbit behind it. As you pull the bow staff back out, there's some kind of greyish brain mattery stuff on the end of your
Ew.
staff. The thing just drops to the ground, its tentacles lashing out madly in its death throes, getting weaker every split second until eventually it's just twitching on the ground, sort of spasmodically twitching as its last bits of consciousness leave it. So, Erin, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna shout. We need to get out of here. Can I see if, like, out this window, if I can see any more of those creatures?
Move yourself to wherever you want to be to look out of what's left of the window, and I will tell you.
And I
You're going to be
can't
there.
really-
Yes.
Mm.
You can see this one
Yes.
just climbing over the thing now.
Oh,
It has
no.
also seen you and thinks,
Oh, no.
"Ha, lunch!"
I'll just be like, shit, there's another one.
Do any of my stunt
gonna
points
say-
help with this? Like an adrenaline boost or anything?
Yes, if you wanted to use adrenaline boost. you
That's
could
what
do
I
that.
was using the shock and awe for, really.
Yeah.
Maybe we could run for the car and try and get in.
That's what I also think.
Yeah, the car's over that way. You can yell at
Yeah, I
your...
can't see
It's off
really
the
on the map.
It's north. It's off
Right.
the map.
Right.
Yeah, you can yell at your people to get the car started, but obviously getting through the doors is going to slow you down, so you might need to do something to stop.
At this
Yeah.
point, do we know the natural speed of these things?
You must do by now because you've been chased by them most of the night. So let me just.
From what we knew from the chase from the metro, they were quite far behind us.
Yes. They're approximately as fast as people, very slightly less so.
Well, I've got fitness, and I don't know. Erin will probably have some strength from having to be a pilot.
What's your speed, the pair of you?
Speed.
Nah.
12.
12.
That's a chase
Mine's
thing,
11.
basically, to the
Does
car.
it? Okay, so Chris, you reckon that Adam reckons he can outrun them, but only just. The action of getting into the car is going to slow him down enough that he thinks it'll catch him. Jenny, Erin reckons that these things are about as fast as her.
Okay.
You've used a minor action to get over here, so what do you want to do with your major? Remember, it is within striking distance there.
Is it? Could I hit it from
'Cause
here with a baseball
it's not
bat?
the adjoining square, it's the square over. So a thing doesn't have to be right
okay.
next to you, it can be one square away.
Right, well, I'll try giving it a whack then, I might as well.
Okay, go for it. So target number's 11. 13, that's a hit.
Yes.
So you've whacked it with a baseball bat right in the side of the face as it's clambering over the thing to get you.
I'll shout. I'll be
Damage
shouting
is-
at my... Nice! I'll be shouting at them to get out of the car, because he needs to get his girlfriend, or his wife, or whoever it is, out. Don't know how fast she can move.
Pretty fucking quickly under these circumstances. She's running for the car
Yeah,
now.
I would have told her to, while we're distracting, to get to the car.
Yeah.
So she's running for the car while you're busy distracting the thing. Annoyed by the fact that lunch has just hit it across the side of the head, this creature is going to attempt to attack you. And do limb from limb is what is planned.
No!
Doesn't get to him because it moved this round. 13 with 2 points of stun, so take it, that's a hit.
Yes, it is!
And it's going to use
'Cause
the
I
2
moved
points
out.
of stunts to hit you again.
Oh my god. Right.
So, second attack is a 15, so that'll hit you as well. So
Yeah.
the first attack, 7 points of damage,
Oh,
as it
okay.
whacks you with one of the tentacles, thunk, and then wraps it round your neck and squeezes.
Ah,
And then,
I'm not doing well.
and then thumps you with the other tentacle in the side. Let me have a look. So the second attack did another 7 points of damage.
Oh god. Right. I'm at 3 health
Oh,
points at this
dear.
point, so
Okay, so-
I am not good.
No, you're not in such a good... You know you said earlier about using your conviction points to avoid death. We might see how that works out next combat round. So,
Yes.
Adam, what would you like to do?
Do you remember at the start of the combat, the charge thing?
Yes, you're definitely
I'm
close
going
enough
to
this
charge
time.
with, and I'm going for the eyes.
Okay, go for it. Go
Yeah,
for
you
it.
know the weak spot. don't you?
What do I need to roll first then? Is it just
It's
my
just
normal?
an attack. I'll just move you. Essentially, a charge
Okay.
combines your movement and an attack. You have to move more than 4 meters, but less than half your total movement to qualify for the +1 to hit. You did qualify for it, so that 16 becomes a 17. So you come rushing up and sort of pivot past Erin and whack right in the side with the bull staff. Roll the damage. 8, so a bit less impressive than the first time. However,
Because I know the weak spot now.
yeah, you smash one of its eyes. Bang! You've hit it flat, so you've not like penetrated as you did the last time, but you can almost see the eye just pop as you hit it.
Ugh.
So it's now only got 5 eyes instead of 6. It can still see you. It's very, very badly hurt. It's extremely angry. It is, however, considering running away at this point. Erin, what would you like to do?
Oh,
sorry,
I
go
was going to say, my action, I'm going to tell Erin to run.
Okay.
I can take this.
Only problem with that is it does kind of have a hold of you. But you
Oh,
think
it does,
it'll
doesn't
give
it?
a
Yeah.
slip. You
Well,
think
did that
you
not
can-
loosen it? Oh.
Yeah, probably. It will have loosened it a little bit, yes.
Okay,
Let's
well,
see
I'm
then.
gonna try and get out of its grip and get away.
Okay. Give me a dexterity
fuck off.
acrobatics test, please. Against its...
Yeah. 11.
against its strength. 11, did you say? 14. It's still got a hold
Yeah.
of you.
Oh, crap.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to count
that's
that as
not
your
good.
minor action, though. So
Right.
I'm going to let you have a major, because I am such a generous games master who should be applauded throughout the lands.
Right, well, I guess the only thing I can do is hit it if I can't get away.
Okay, give it a try.
I guess it's like pulling, so I literally can't move.
Oh no, you can move. It didn't have that type
Right.
of, I mean, it was trying to strangle you, but when he whacked it in the eye, it's loosened its grip a bit.
Right, but I can't. Can I move out of its range?
No, because it
At
does
least.
actually have a hold of you.
Right, okay. Right, I'll just have to try and hit it then, I guess.
16, that's a hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
So you
And
jab forward with the baseball bat. Thump. You
Ace
bang it right
damage.
in the front of the face, and how would you like to do this?
yes! Yes! Right, I'm just gonna smash it in the face and then just in the same movement unwrap it from my neck and then
Right.
leg it.
In sheer anger, you smash it in the face. Poof. You feel something breaking, and you just like pull the tentacles off where they're wrapped around your neck, and you just run for the car. You and Julia make the car at about the same time, and just kind of slide into the back seat. Adam, I take it you're going to make a
Yeah.
run for it before any more.
I'm going to be right behind her.
Yeah. Right
Okay.
hard on your heels, he jumps into the front seat and slams the
Yeah.
door. Your dad takes off at high speed. What the bloody hell were they?
So it's those things. We told you about them. Told you.
I know you told us about them, but what the bloody hell? I didn't think you were that's not normal.
Yeah, I know. It nearly killed me. I'm gonna be trying to sort of stop myself from bleeding everywhere.
At this point, Julia will be bandaging you up while we're going back home.
Yes.
Back to the garage, sorry.
Okay, so in the car you can all take a breather. That's the first thing. So
Okay.
you
Okay.
all get 5 hit health points plus your level plus your constitution back.
Okay.
So add 5 to your
So
level and your
7.
constitution, and you can recover that many.
Yeah, well, I'm up to half hit points now then. That's a bit better.
Okay. Now Julia will, as Chris mentioned, also.
I'm gonna say to Julia as well. Do you believe us now?
Well,
She's a 111 agent, so she would know.
does look a bit like you might be right. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
Jenny, you get her stunt dice, which is 1 plus her
Okay.
intelligence, which is 3 more hit points back.
Nice. Okay.
She's a
fine.
smart girl.
I was just gonna say I'll say it to my dad. We don't know what they are, do we? There's some kind of weird alien
Sort of
creatures or something.
manta sort of man of war things.
Yeah.
Okay, he just keeps repeating, I don't believe it, all the way back to the thing.
I think we're starting to find a weak spot, though.
Yes. Skipping over to the Felon brothers over in, oddly enough, Northern Felon. Rab and Joe back at the supermarket. What would you like to do now?
Rab's
Suppose now
rattling
we-
around with
I suppose now we go to the canned and dry goods section.
Yes.
Try and get some. Let's pick up some vegetables. If we dehydrate them, they'll last us a lot longer than fresh vegetables.
Mushrooms last the longest out of anything in a supermarket.
Do you know why that is? Because no bugger will eat them. Yeah.
I love
But
mushrooms.
dehydrated fruit and veg lasts quite a while.
It
so.
does.
Mushrooms last longer. But yeah, okay.
No, they don't.
Aye, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be spending the apocalypse eating just mushrooms.
If you're stuck
Yeah,
in
no
a supermarket for 80 years.
Yeah. Okay, so you're essentially filling your trolley with stuff. Just keep writing down on that hand out what you're taking. I'll stop you when you get ridiculous.
I need to find it again, actually.
PlayStation
Right.
5.
Can I get a PS5?
Yeah.
Where is? Thank you.
You've only got. I've got like 50
fruit
odd
and
things to look through
veg.
here. You only have 2, and you couldn't find it.
Turn. Got more than 2. Got loads.
Make sure you get some water, bottled water.
Get peanuts and stuff for like
So
14.
I'm not actually seeing this change at all. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'll update it once I've.
Oh, of course, yes, because
I'll just.
it doesn't do it.
There you go,
live
you
the
can
way
see
Don't
what
get
I
anything
brought.
that has too much of a smell
Canned
of it to
goods
it either.
is shit too. I've modified
Okay,
that myself
well.
between games.
That's
Dehydrated
for Lisa,
foods,
goddamn it.
yep. Packs of nuts, bottled water, fruit and veg, yep. Okay. Good. Okay, so you're sort of zipping around supermarket sweep style around the supermarket, just piling stuff into your trolley. Do you have an
We could
actual... Sorry,
actually.
go ahead.
Do you think it'd be worth it getting like cooking stuff, like maybe a campfire, or like camping stuff? I mean,
Now, you see, I was actually
We still
considering
Probably.
at some point we find a sporting goods store because they'll have stuff like tents, sleeping bags,
that
gas
would be better than.
stoves and canisters, and arrows and big
We can go back to the
knives
one I
and-
nicked from last time. Just go nick it and just go break in again.
Yeah, why
And
not?
yeah,
Baseball
those,
bats.
Yeah,
Still
the
early. Yeah.
the
Go on.
meal things that you get, you know the things like the army use. I can't
Yeah,
remember what they're
MRE
called.
packs.
Yes.
That's the ones. That's
Meals
them.
ready to eat.
Yes.
Oh, salt and pepper and stuff.
Cooking oil.
See, they've got all this crappy canned food, all this crappy dried food, and on the top they put one wee pack of salt and pepper.
To be fair, salt is good for coordination, so.
Yeah, but come on, Rab's to Glasgow, he has to salt everything.
In
That's
fairness,
true. Yeah,
you
that's
could
true.
you could use salt to cure. Is it curate meat?
Can
Is
you?
that how you
Yeah, cure.
Sure.
You use salt
There
to
you go.
cure.
Yeah.
You can use it to you can use it as part of the pickle. It's called brining when you do it with salt process. So yeah,
So
you
get
can use it
some,
to preserve food.
Get some canned meat like salami in the
Get
stuff.
some crisps and
Sal-
cereal as
salami
well.
lasts forever.
Okay, you can keep adding stuff, you can get more than that in. One
We
question
can
I
also
do...
look.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, if we are going to hit a sporting goods shop or something at some point as well,
We can do it on the way
good
back
thing,
if you like.
Really good thing to look for: water purification tablets.
Yes.
Very good idea.
That would
I will
be-
tell you,
Yeah.
I learned this from Bear Grylls. If you can use charcoal to filter water, you just
Can,
pour the
yes.
water through loads of charcoal a bunch of times. It's not-
Thank
it's
God
not
there was that
perfect, but-
option and not using the Pacific to give yourself an enema.
Oh dear, yes.
Oh.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's some
So
Elizabeth
let me know
doing?
when you've finished actually adding stuff to it and when you're going to try to escape. And do you have an
Well, I'm
extraction plan?
kind of worried that. Rab, I have quite a high stealth. Could you distract someone while I just push the trolley?
Well, I
out?
actually have stealth and misdirection as a talent.
Oh, nice one. I'll tell you what, you
Would
guys be planning
misdirection
your
work?
extraction. I'm going to quickly dash to the laboratory. I'm leaving the vocals open to everybody, so you guys can discuss your plan. Let me know what you're doing when I get back.
Yeah, if you're leaving the vocals open, please mute the lavatory. Don't do it.
Well,
So-
misdirection with that
Nearly had
misdirection that would probably help you distract someone. I can push the trolley out if you like.
Nearly had our first death.
I know. Of course, it would be me, wouldn't it? You know, as per usual.
So okay, so you would need things like the basics, like like carbs, protein, vitamin, some vitamin stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to
Don't you
miss
dare
anything.
use bad language at Rab.
What?
Vitamins and protein.
Just quickly like run through what makes stuff last longer.
Right. The
Vinegar.
best bet to get in the first place is to go for things which are shelf stable, so things that are dried, things like pulses, rice, flour. Your next best bet is canned goods because they've
Pasta.
been through. Yeah, pasta's another one. Canned goods is another one where they've been through a process which means that basically they'll last a very, very long time. You can also look for things like salt for brining, vinegar for pickling, and sugar, because sugar's a natural preservative as well. That's where you can make things like jams.
Jam's a good one. Jam's got a lot of sugar in for energy.
Yeah, you can buy
tins
a
of
lot of
sugar.
jam.
Yeah.
The thing, do you know the food stuff that lasts the very longest? Honey. It lasts thousands of years.
Yeah, honey doesn't actually have a use-by date. That's how long it lasts.
Yep.
Okay.
I've heard that chocolate doesn't actually have a use-by date. They just put it on there because of law.
Chocolate does tend to deteriorate after a while. It develops what's called bloom, and then beyond that, it begins to deteriorate and break down. It's quite unpleasant.
It's the stuff they use when they're making the chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Spam and tuna.
What's the plan?
Are you adding that stuff onto the list? Oh, you are. Cool. Right, once we've finished shopping, then Rab's going to use his misdirection talent to distract them.
And I'll use my stealth talent to wheel the trolley out, I guess.
Okay. So how
we could actually create a distraction and just like wreck half the store in one bit, or like push over a shelf and then quickly run to the exit.
Rab could cause a scene at the other end of the shop.
Exactly. So people will go over there.
Okay. Describe exactly what Rab's doing. I'm just going to move us over onto the supermarket.
What's the aisle? What's in the aisle? Sorry, that's the furthest from the actual entrance.
Let me just take a look. So
We're going off actual Asda.
that
In
would
the over like this end, it's like the pop and frozen aisles. So like snacks, frozen stuff's
aisles
down
further
here.
down where you can see the fridges.
Alcohol's like here.
No, you can. If you look on the map there, you can see that that's actually like chest freezers. You can see frozen meat and stuff if you zoom in and off.
Oh, I was going off like Asda, man.
Yeah, but we're actually going off where you're actually standing. And so, also, you were asking about the furthest area. So that's going to be back here in the southwest sort of area. Back there, what you've got is a lot of fish and so this is the fish counter here, and over the last aisle running down would be the what do you call it? Cereal and so forth. So I'll just move you over to there. There you go. So south of you is the cereal aisle here. On here you've got like cake mixes and bacon stuff. Here you've got the fish and whatnot. Here you have the fire exit.
Does it look to be alarmed?
Well, it's got a Glaswegian with a petrol bomb coming towards it. It's slightly alarmed.
Yeah, plus, as I said, the 5 exits are actually mag-locked unless the 5 alarms going off.
Yeah.
Which
I
Rab
thought
can
you could
quite
just push
happily
them
oblige
open,
with.
couldn't you?
No. They're mag-locked
really?
for security reasons.
Oh.
The mag-lock only deactivates when a 5 alarm is going off. Which, as I said, Rab can quite happily oblige with.
You could actually, yes.
In fact, that'd be a hell of a distraction.
It definitely
it would.
Definitely would.
Could
So-
you-
Actually, I think that might now be the plan.
Okay.
Is that I
Set
go
the
to
fire
that
alarm
corner far from the entrance while you wait in the vicinity of there, but obviously the shop floor side of the checkout so they don't like go, where's he going?
Yeah. So if you're
Mhm.
Just
sort of there-
pretend that you're shopping in those aisles, and basically I'll launch a petrol bomb across the shop.
Oh my god!
Fucking hell.
You're actually gonna start a fire.
Lines I never thought I would ever say.
Okay, make an attack with your petrol bomb.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus! What's that going to be?
Sorry, that's accuracy. Accuracy throwing.
God, this would be quite funny if the police got
Anything
everything
over-
under control.
Yeah, anything over 10 is going to hit. So
Yeah, okay.
you kind of lob the petrol bomb over there. There's a sudden break in the glass, and like the petrol ignites.
And then I'll just go, shit, man, there's a fire!
You did make sure there was no one over there, right?
Oh, there's nobody over there but himself. Yeah, he
Okay.
waited
Yeah.
till he wasn't like being. So you
Yeah.
yell, "Shit, man! There's a fire!" You see people coming around from all like the staff coming from different directions to come and see what's going on. You're
And
running
Rob,
down
of
the
course,
corridor going, "Fire!"
Rab, of course, does have his bestest innocent face on.
Okay, Rab looks as innocent as is possible for him to look, which is not very.
Yeah.
The staff see the fire. You hear a massive. Well, they come to investigate what the crash inside just before the whoosh was. They see the fire. You hear the alarms go off. The maglocks disengage so that the fire exits are now available, and the sprinklers come on. In the chaos, you think because the woman closest to you is keeping a half an eye on the checkouts, you think because she's so distracted that you might be able to sneak out past her. So make a stealth roll if you would, please, Ben.
Sure thing.
18, right you are. So you wheel the trolley out past her while she's not looking. Get right
She's
round
no
to
clue.
over here. What are you going to do about the woman you know's in the entrance, or should be in the entrance?
Just go
Pretend
past her.
Just
Just sneak past her as well.
Okay. You come out with a trolley full of shopping, and she's kind of looking around. What's going on, Henny?
Oh, just a
There's
fire,
a
you know, not to
fire
worry
in the
about.
shop. It's on fire.
There's a fire. You'd better get out. Hit straight out there. The fire assembly point's in the car park.
I know it is.
So you two both head out. She's unaware of the fact you haven't paid for the shopping, and she's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
hurrying you out, despite the fact that at least you managed to get your shopping before the fire alarm went off, pet.
Aye, man, it was a pure close call in that.
It was what, sorry?
It was a pure close call. We almost didn't make it.
Oh no! Oh, that's awful.
Aye, man, it's pure terrible, isn't it?
Well, I hope you have a better night for the rest of the night. It's been terrible tonight.
Aye,
hasn't
me
it?
too.
All
You
those
hear, good
terrorists.
one, hen. Catch you later.
And you two both load your ill-gotten gains as rapidly as you can into the back of that car before anybody puts two and two together. Hop in the car, and as you're about to
Before
pull
they watch
away,
the security footage.
yeah, as you're about to pull away, you see a large security guard come huffing around the corner, obviously looking for you guys. You think.
Yeah.
Just duck down in the car. Just duck down in the car.
Well, you've got two options. You can duck down in the car, or you can just drive away.
No, I don't want the police
No,
coming
no.
to our door.
There's a third option.
Shoot him with a bow
threaten
and
with a
arrow.
Molotov.
I was just gonna say,
Set you on fire as well.
Well,
chuck the Molotov.
Fuck off, mate. Are you getting it?
is that what you're doing? Is it threatening him with a Molotov?
Please don't, because he's gonna call the police. just
No,
hide.
I'm
Just
going. I'll
hide.
see what he does if he tries to come after us. Then
Well,
yeah, but I think we should just duck down until
Yeah,
he's.
yeah.
Okay, make stealth. Make dexterity stealth rolls, and let's see. He has +1 on his.
Oh, nice.
So he scored 11 to find. Oh right, okay.
No chance.
So you guys both slide down into the footwell of the car. He's looking around for like, where have they gone? Where have they gone? You can see him heading towards other cars and whatnot, and you think like, oh, sooner or later he's gonna spot us. He must be about to, but he's starting to get a bit bored. And then suddenly something distracts him, and he looks over in the corner, and then you just see him running back into the supermarket.
Is it the big thing?
Well, are you going to take a look?
Yes.
Right. Whatever it is, it seems to be a large black and red shadow running up the street with its head on fire.
Oh god! It's come back.
It's been running around in circles all the time they've been in there.
The poor thing.
Just looking for
I
something.
feel bad
It's
for it.
hardly noticed. It's hardly noticed. It only takes d6 damage a round from the fire after the first impact, and that means it shrugs off anything except a maximum damage.
Right, Jesus.
So its head's on
Really?
fire, it doesn't really know.
Oh my god.
Okay, so...
Everyone in that supermarket's gonna die.
Well, you can see the shutters are rolling down, which is a bit awkward because there's a fire inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So,
Thank God there'll
Yeah.
be no news tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have we just accidentally killed the entire supermarket full of people?
Not for the first time. I mean, no.
Well, it's not full of people. It's a skeleton staff because it's overnight. There's hardly anybody shopping in there, but you might be responsible for some innocent bystanders.
Well, they're either going to get ate or burnt alive, so...
No,
Yeah.
procedure should be to evacuate the store.
Yes, they'll be evacuating
Yeah.
at the other end, as will be.
yeah,
what's
and then getting
happening.
eaten by the creature.
Which is on this
Getting
end,
eaten-
so it won't say them if it
Getting
goes
eaten
that
by
way.
the creature's half brother.
Yeah.
So, can I have a
Which has
drive
nothing to do with
roll,
us.
please, from whoever's driving, rather?
We could drive, or we could just wait around and hope it walks away to like the other end.
No.
Oh,
I
you
think
want to
we
go?
need to
Okay,
be
then let's
driving.
go. All right, let's go.
Because the authorities are probably going to be on their way to deal with the fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
There'll be fire engines on their way. Okay, so you pull out of the car park and round. You drive out into the main street, and you can see loads of people piling out at the back of the like the loading bay for the supermarket. You can see people being loaded into a lorry, and the lorry's pulling away.
Can I do something?
Yes.
Can I phone the police or phone the emergency services and tell them that the supermarket that's on fire has one of those big things outside of it, so don't send anyone or else they will die?
Right. Okay. You get through, and the controller's like, "What do you mean big things? What are you talking about? A truck?"
I'll say there's this. Imagine a T-Rex, but it's on fire.
There's a pause at the other end. Sorry, could you just say that again, sir?
There is a flaming T-Rex outside of Sainsbury's.
You are aware that it's a criminal offence to waste police time, yes?
I'm fully aware. Trust me, just don't send anyone there. There's
We've
been a
got
fire.
more than enough to deal with all the fires and looting and terrorist activity without some idiot ringing us up and telling us there's a burning T-Rex running around here.
Trust me. Trust me. Just don't send anyone there.
So,
Oh, dear.
you managed to
Well, I
get
tried.
the 999 call handler to hang up on you. You have
Well, I
managed to
tried.
drive safely back to the... unless you were you stopping somewhere else? You talked about...
Yeah, do you want to go to a sports shop and we can pick up the other stuff on the way back? Rab.
Yes.
Yes, we'll go
Yes.
to a nearby sports shop and we'll go get the camping gear and the such.
Okay. You find yourself a nearby sports shop. That's not actually going to be easy in this part of Newcastle. You remember the one back in the centre of town, but
Yeah.
you imagine
The one that
the
I
police
raided before.
must have responded to that by now. So driving around this area, you don't manage to find one, and you think, you really need somebody that's more familiar with the area to tell you where the next closest one will be, but you can't find one, unfortunately.
Can I just Google it?
Yes.
Sports shop near me.
Yes.
No, just do that. Whip my phone out. Sports direct near me or whatever.
Places I can rob near me.
Marie, refresh me memory. What do they call this part of Newcastle?
That's Biker, Oosburn.
Oosburn's a little further up. That's where you're heading back to, really, isn't it? Oh, there's a JD Sports, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Aye.
You know what we
That
might...
part up there is Biker. They class it as Biker.
You know what might be a good idea is before the internet and everything goes down, we should maybe get a map somehow.
You should maybe get a what?
Probably.
A map.
Oh,
An
the
ordnance survey map.
Oh,
Map.
I thought you said a
Just
map.
something that could
Probably
help us
nick
get our
one
way
of them
around.
at the camping store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably
You can
print
probably
out.
get that today.
I was thinking specifically like a detailed one of Newcastle.
Like an A
But-
to Z of Newcastle, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Ordnance
They're
survey
usually
map.
on. Yeah.
Ordnance survey maps will come with maps of city centres and towns for the bigger
You know
places
where-
that have like London, Glasgow, Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester, etc. But it
Yeah,
gives you an entire, rather well detailed map of the entire UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to abstract this a little bit. Can you give me a
Erin's work might have those type of maps. I think.
Whatever the role
Yes,
is,
probably.
Rab, can you
yeah,
help me?
actually.
well, you both.
Yes,
you-
I'll give him the bonus to the roll.
Okay. Oh yes, of course, because you were doing the thing.
Yep.
Right. Okay. I'm going to need a dexterity stealth roll from each of you.
Oh, that's
and
gonna be easy.
somebody's going to need to give me a dexterity sabotage roll as well.
You can do that, Rab. You've
I've
got
got both
sabotage,
of
don't
those
you?
actually. Oh, it's
Didn't
just-
you want to go to a place like a B&Q as well, if I remember correctly from before?
Right.
Probably,
I've
yes.
just done that with the sabotage.
Okay.
That's 6, 11, 15, plus the 2, 17 for the sabotage.
Isn't that the exact same one that did it on before that I've fixed?
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was.
sure. I think it might have been actually.
Ah, yeah, I think it might have been. Let me
Because
just...
the stealth worked okay, obviously, but the sabotage didn't.
Yep, so I am just going to have another crack at that. Character sheet, focuses, dexterity, sabotage, type 2 over the top of it. Obviously, I'll keep your first roll, but if you would just like to roll it again for me, see if that's
Yeah,
finally
sure.
fixed it. Yep,
The same roll anyway.
yeah, seems to be working well now. So, right, you pull into a JD Sports, which is closed at this time of night. You realise that somehow you're going to have to breach the security security system.
Probably.
Yes. So, Rab, you set to work trying to breach the security system. It takes you no time at all. To the point that, Joe, you're so impressed by this that it suddenly occurs to you that, given your line of work, this might be a man whose skills would dovetail with your team's quite nicely.
Yeah.
The pair
So
of
in the
yous-
back of my mind, I'm thinking like, if we ever make out of this, I'm gonna try and recruit this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you want to add to your little list the stuff you're trying to steal from here, Meanwhile, back at the warehouse, you're still dealing with the police there. The number of police has increased exponentially at this point. You've now got scene of crimes officers, you've got detectives have arrived, there are more uniformed officers. There's a kind of bleary-eyed older detective with a sort of tweed hat and a brown Mac, grey hair and a grey moustache, slightly flabby jowls. He's sort of taking a look at it all, and he's running you through the same set of questions as before, really. So, where do you think these things came from? He throws you a curveball for the first time.
Well, I don't know, mate. The first time I saw them, it was in the underground between Central Station and Monument. But I don't imagine that's where they came from. Because, look, unless evolution's weirder than I thought, you know?
Well, I don't imagine that's where they came from, but then, you know, if you're talking about that part of town, it's out near Jesmond, isn't it? So anything's really possible.
Aye.
He makes a few notes. This is going to sound like a really stupid question, and that's because it is, but I have to eliminate this anyway. Have you ever seen these things before?
No.
Didn't think so.
I mean, I've read I've read that H.P. Lovecraft and there's things like that and that, but you know, that was supposed to be fiction. Written by a racist in the 1920s, but never mind.
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with them. I thought H.P. was a source.
Oh God.
That and all.
So we've probably gone over most of the questions. One thing I'm curious about, though, is why you decided to assemble here, particularly, rather than, you said you lived just round the corner. Why didn't you go home rather than bringing your sister here? There's already been one. Sorry. Go on.
It's kind of a wee house, you know what I mean? Student accommodation, there's not much room. And, well, the people that were here, we all go off the underground together, so we decided to stick together because we got away from these things once by working together. So we thought maybe we could do it again.
Okay, yes, that's understandable. There's just one thing that I'm not quite sure I understand, and that's if I've got the timeline to your story correct, these, let's call them animals to keep Sergeant Plod happy. These animals attacked you here, and then you went to get your sister and bring her here. Why?
Aye.
Why did you all decide to continue to congregate here when it didn't seem to be a safe place anymore?
We couldn't think anywhere safer.
Okay,
We got here. We were just putting together a plan to try and get in touch with our families when them things turned up.
Okay.
We didn't have time. We didn't have time to go, oh well, it'd be much safer if we all gather at a central point that's got access to water and is on high ground. You've not got the time.
Okay, given that you're telling them the truth, make a communications persuasion roll, but you will actually get the bonus of his investigation talent. So he's double focused, so he's got a 3. So you get to add 3.
So I'm looking for communications persuasion. So just communication then. No physical.
I literally have a power to do with persuasion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can kind of understand what your thought process was at the time. I'm not entirely sure I would consider this that safe. I understand that you were fighting for your lives at your time against these animals. Okay, Sergeant. As the sergeant walks past. But I do sort of see the sergeant's point as well about
Cryptids, that's what they are. Because they're an animal, we don't know what they are and we've never seen them, so it's a cryptid, so get it right, aye.
a cryptid. Okay. I'll Google that later. Cryptid. Mm-hmm. Okay. However, I do rather agree with the sergeant that perhaps throwing bottles full of petrol at it in an area with so much petrol, possibly not the best option. I would really rather suggest not engaging them in a fight at all if you could avoid it, but I know it wasn't, under the circumstances, it wasn't that easy. I don't suppose you had much of a choice. Now, normally, we should be taking you into the station to do some processing and just to check a few details, and there's probably some minor charges that we should be considering, but I'm going to be entirely honest with you. We are extremely busy today. I am told that the station is already full. We're a little bit more worried about looters than we are whatever happened here. As far as I can tell, nobody got hurt. You didn't harm anybody except whatever these animals, yes, Sergeant, whatever these animals, these cryptids.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, these craptids were.
Crafted.
So we've taken everybody's name. There might be further action, but if I'm honest, I think you're probably all right. We've got more things to worry about just now.
I think you have, because there's loads of them, and they're on the underground, and they're eating people.
Well, I think most of these cryptids are under control now, according to the armed response team, and we do have a lot of looters to be dealing with. At which point, as he says it, you hear two cars turn into the road from opposite ends.
The looters turn up.
Yeah. Looking up and down the street, you notice that car one is definitely the car in which Adam left with Erin, and the other car, which is turning in to this area full of police officers, is the one which Rab and Joe left in. So back to Rab and Joe. You turn the corner onto the street, and you see just dozens of police officers just all over the area.
Keep driving.
Uh-huh.
What would you like to do?
Probably a good idea.
Wait, sorry, where did they see these?
Where did you see them? The police officers.
Where did they see the dozens of police officers? Sorry.
Outside Thomas's workshop.
Yeah, so we just keep driving past and
Following the game.
Yeah.
circle around the block.
Yeah.
We don't stop there. We just keep driving past as if we're just driving normally and we've not just tried to blow up a supermarket after lunch.
Oh god.
Did we manage to get all the camping gear that we wanted?
Let me just take a look at your little list and I'll cross off all the ludicrous stuff that you expected to steal.
The ludicrous stuff.
Well, I mean, we left Ben in charge of it, so he'll have things like...
yeah, true.
Not just more arrows, I want a bow.
Okay. Actually,
ludicrous stuff? Name one thing that I can't have.
There's nothing there that would be a problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
I've just added bows and baseball bats.
Right, yes. Okay. How many bows would you like to pick up?
Probably get one for everyone, to be honest.
Okay.
God, letting us loose with that sort of
Weren't you? What about like additional padded football gear? Was that not on the list?
Oh, can I get a crossbow?
Sports
Actually,
armor,
probably yes.
Yeah. Because I know the crossbows do massive amounts of damage in this game.
Combat crossbows do, but you would be picking up a sports crossbow. They're not as powerful.
How much damage are we talking?
Let me just a bit less.
So I was basing it on the Fantasy Age or the Modern Age crossbows, which are like 3d6, and they take an entire round to reload.
Well,
Yeah.
they're actually 2d6, but yes.
It's a 2d6. Is that it?
Okay, but you wouldn't be buying a combat crossbow, so No,
Are
I
you?
would say it's about the same actually. But sorry, you know what I mean. Stealing.
I haven't bought anything for days.
Okay, so yes, you can have a crossbow. You can add a crossbow to the list. You're forced to circle the building several times before the police finally leave. They're there for a good portion of the night. In fact, you can see the sun is just starting to come up by the time they've finally left. Not only that, but the purple tinge to the sky is now just a tint. It's still there when the sun comes up, but it's now just a tint. However, that's you guys that are driving past. What about Adam and Erin and everybody? What are you doing?
We'll drive. We'll just drive in.
You just drive.
We have nothing to worry about.
You don't? So you drive
Apart
in
from
before the police have arrived, so they kind of stop you and start asking. Can I just ask you who you are, sir? What's your business here?
I'll show them my my lab ID.
I don't know if this has escaped your attention, sir, but this is a garage.
Yeah, we got together with the guys in the garage who you probably questioned already when on the tram, and we were just getting back from picking up some additional supplies, which you may have a look at.
On the what, sir? Sorry.
The under what you call it, the metro.
The metro, right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you arrived?
Sorry, I used to live in Manchester for 10 years. Give me a break.
Oh, you have my deepest sympathies, sir. I see, yes. So, can you tell us a little bit more about the incidents of this evening, starting with the train accident, please?
You want me to tell you everything?
You can abstract it by saying, you know.
So yeah, I was coming back home on the metro, and then the train got attacked. We found out that a man had been attacked by some creature at the front of it. We helped him along to as much as we could to the nearest underground. And then
so some creature, some animal. Do you mean? As he's saying it, like an older man, a short guy in a sort of tweed hat, taps him on the shoulder and says,
because of this type of thing, because I am a scientist, I'm going to describe it in detail.
Right.
No, they start taking notes. They seem much more interested now you're giving them detail.
Including the information about this green substance as well. I'm not going to say I've got substance on me though.
Okay. No, they're extremely interested about that. You see, one of the officers waves a socko over. There's this gentleman here seems to know something a little bit more about that green substance you found. So Socko starts talking to me. Because obviously I'm not going to touch it. That's why I'm dressed in all this ridiculous.
Yeah, that won't help.
So it appears, as far as I can tell, to be some kind of fungus is the closest thing I can say. Probably.
It's like a man-eating fungus.
Sorry, did you just say man-eating?
Yes, I did. It tried to attack me when I first tried to inspect it when the first time I seen it.
Right, he holds up this tiny little test tube that he's got what's left of it in, considering you froze it and blew it apart. This tried to eat you.
It's hard to explain, but yeah, it did. It was worse than the big tentacle things.
He looks at the detective. He says, "Okay, so apparently, this thumbnail-sized piece of frozen slime mold tried to eat him, and then he was attacked by big tentacle things. I think I'm probably done here, sir." The detective says, "I know it sounds ridiculous, but keep talking to him and write down everything. We're getting somewhere."
Can I ask where you got that other substance? Like, was it from one of these? Well, have you seen them yourself?
Well, it was over
I'm going to
here.
question them. It was over there. Oh, you just got it from here. Oh, okay.
And he takes you to where one of the ones that the same one you killed and found the stuff.
It was just a little bit left on it. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that one's dead already, so you're okay.
I'll show them some of the injuries I've had because I got burned on the arm. I've been attacked by the other one that we just encountered.
Right,
if they
okay,
want
well,
to
it
say
looks
that.
to me like we'd best get you to, we'd best get that scene to.
No, I'm fine.
Really? Because I would really suggest we get you to the hospital, have that taken care of.
Yeah, I'll do that later. I'm fine for now.
Well, we can call a paramedic and get you taken there.
Nope, it's okay.
Well, it's up to you. We can't force you.
By
I know you
interest, do
can't.
you know? I mean, we think we're okay here, but do you know of a better place that we could be staying?
Well, if I'm entirely honest, we don't really know exactly what's going on. The centre of the city seems to be the most dangerous part, but we would suggest somewhere that's difficult to enter. We kind of looked around at this place. Well, I suppose like this place.
Well, we're thinking of heading south to one of the old bunkers.
I don't think you'd be allowed just to take over an old bunker, sir, to be fair. I think the Ministry of Defence might have something to say about that.
No, it was. Okay, then we won't.
I'll say about that we think there's been someone hurt, where we were, the neighbour's house.
Right. He takes the details, he gets onto the radio and dispatches somebody over there. Eventually they ask you a lot of questions till you're quite tired yourself. And then they finish off kind of reluctantly saying, well, we can't force you to go and have those wounds seen too, but we would really, really recommend that you do. Sooner rather than later would be a good idea. I don't know how good an idea it is to be sleeping in an old garage, but, frankly, I'm not the council.
Seems to be,
I'm not really interested in whether or not you're breaking their rules about commercial properties and state. That's for them to worry about. I'm not interested. I've got more things to be doing. So, you people take care of yourselves. Try not to get into any trouble, and remember, if any more of these things come, call us. That's what we're for. We'll have the armed response team out as quickly as possible.
I'm going to say to him, I think people should be being told to board the doors and windows up because these things can break through glass.
That does sound like a good idea, but that will be for the chief constable to decide, probably in conjunction with some pencil pusher somewhere. But yes, certainly, I think that's probably a good idea, and I would probably recommend it to you to further barricade this garage and be more careful with the petrol bombs, whichever of you was throwing them around. He's kind of eyeing Lizzie here.
I'll just stand and look smug.
Okay.
Look, wait, I've got on my best fuck you, I won't do what you tell me expression. Call the police when they get being attacked by these. Hello, officer, yes, it's strangling me with a tentacle. Sick. Aye, right. So well.
Okay, so eventually the police officers and scene of crimes officers go. There is still scene of crimes tape left around here, but they've extensively removed everything, including there's some guys who've turned up in unmarked black vans and taken what's left of the aliens that they've put into some kind of refrigeration unit. The guys in question are all in full hazmat suits as well, which makes you feel all the more secure that you're standing there in your tank top and combat boots, and that Joe's standing there in his business suits and Rab's in his sportswear. Well, he's not there yet. Eventually, everybody leaves anyway, as the sun starts to peak above the horizon, and you realise that you've somehow managed to survive the first night of what you will later come to realise is the beginning of the apocalypse. As you're thinking about it, you see Rab and Rab and Joe come round the corner again. Rab sticks his head out the window. Is it safe yet?
I'm just thinking about whether those men in black are from Rudlow Manor or something.
Could be. You're not quite sure.
Yeah, mate, if the pig's gone.
Rudlow Manor is Area 51 of the UK.
Yeah. Does anybody want to answer Rab's question?
Sorry?
Yeah, mate, if the pig's gone.
Aye,
Yeah.
busies have gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
No bother, mucker.
As Rab and Joe pull in and unload everything that they have acquired over the course of the evening, you all see the rather large collection of foodstuffs that they've managed to steal. Well, I mean, they might have bought them. They're not clear on this issue.
Yeah, right.
And a lot stuff as well. As the sun begins to strengthen and rise in the sky, the sheer weight of exhaustion from a night trying to survive whatever the hell it was that went on tonight is starting to take its toll on all of you. And eventually you start looking towards bedding down for the night, organising...
I have an idea about that.
Go ahead.
Can we get on the roof of the garage? Because I kind of want to set up a lookout post up there. We can like set up like a little tent or whatever. Someone can sleep up there and watch.
Is it accessible from inside?
It's not accessible from inside, but you can certainly access it from outside, yes.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea for a watch and everything.
Okay. Take a look outside.
I'm just gonna wanna. Sorry, go on.
No, you go on.
I was just gonna say I'll sleep in the back of one of the cars with a sleeping bag or something.
Okay.
I'll set up like a tent or something to cover me from the rain, and I'll just sleep on the roof.
Okay, you set up one of the tents that you liberated from JJ Sports. Set it up on the other sports shops are also available for you to loot during the apocalypse. And that was a joke, in case the authorities are listening. So you set up there as some kind of sort of watch, but you're asleep fairly quickly. You all sleep through most of the rest of the day. The day itself is oddly quiet. It's spookily quiet. There's not the usual sounds of a busy city, even on the Saturday. Well, especially on the Saturday. You hear the occasional bang, the occasional distant explosion throughout the course of the next day. You hear the occasional siren, but nothing of the kind of sounds you would expect during the course of the day in a city. The next day rolls round and it is deathly quiet. The explosions have stopped. You can hear cars start to drive around the city again. There are fewer sirens now. Things have almost returned to normal. According to the radio reports that you're getting, whatever did happen that night has been largely contained. At least here, but there's some very worrying stories coming out of the rest of the world. Things that are happening on the large continents. You suddenly realise the advantage of an island nation being so remote that a lot of whatever these things are that are rampaging across the rest of the continent might be, find it a little bit more difficult to get here. And then the diseases started to sweep across the country. And that's where we'll leave it.
Oh no.
So, thank you very much for joining me. That was the fourth episode and ends the first day of the apocalypse. We'll be back very shortly with the with the next stage as things unravel in the next few days, the next week or so after the apocalypse. Everybody okay with doing that again next week, or do you want a week's grace?
Absolutely, next week.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
actually
fine
got a
with
feeling
it.
I'm on a late next Friday.
You might be on a late
Oh.
next Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see what we can figure out, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have a look tomorrow and I'll let you know.
Okay. If you let me know tomorrow, and we'll figure out whether it's
Yep.
going to be next week or the week after for the second linked story in the campaign, which picks up several days after the end of this one. In the meantime, everybody levels up to level 2.
Ooh.
Hey.
Yay!
Thank you very much to the audience for tuning in. Sorry about all the chaos and the technical problems. I've no idea why that API script right at the start didn't work and we couldn't open any of the doors. I'll try and figure it out for next time. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back either next week or the week after, once we know what everybody's schedule is, to pick up the story a few days later when things begin to get, if you can believe it, even worse for our survivors.
Oh, I can believe it.
So thank you to the audience and good night.
Bye bye.
Right.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.